All listeners, stand by for the Caffeine, Lifts, and Public Assist podcast.
All right, we're back. Caffeine,
Okay.
Lifts, Public Assist. I'm Adam.
I'm Adam.
My name is Frank.
Hey,
What's going on?
legend.
Oh, yeah.
Frank, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know most of the guys know who you are, but for the listeners that don't,
Sure. Oh, well, my name is Frank. I actually grew up in Merced. Graduated out of Merced High in 1980. I know none of you guys were probably born at that time, but
We were not.
See, I knew you were going to say that.
Casey he's like the only one who.
It's okay. Casey, he was born in 81. But no, actually, had a great high school years and stuff. I really enjoyed it and stuff. So, but life went on after you graduated from high school, and it's funny because once I graduated, I went to work for a restaurant out of Merced. Did that for like 6 months, and then I worked at a hospital for like 2 years or so. I was a cook, dishwasher, busboy, housekeeping. So I learned a lot of skills
Firefighter.
in the fire service.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
exactly
when I came in, it's like, yeah, I know how to clean a bathroom. I know how to make a bed.
Yeah.
I know how to wash clothes, things like that. So that actually was but those were really good memories that you remember that you just kind of relive. Every once in a while, you go, yeah, I remember when I did that back then and stuff. So
Yeah.
still were good. But right after that, my brother was in the fire service. So, but I also had a brother that was in the sheriff's office. So I kind of looked at them as people that I don't know, fire service, police. I really like both, the public side of it, but then it was really strange because back then, when you get in the fire service, it's a whole lot different way of, at least the department I worked for, which was Empire Fire District. And so when I went to visit my brother one day, he goes, hey, Empire's hiring 3 guys. And I go, he goes, yeah, just go down there and apply.
No experience?
No experience.
Nothing.
He goes, oh, no, they don't want you to have anything.
Oh, wow.
They don't want you to have an experience. They don't want you to know. They want you to know if you're really interested. If you knocked at their door and you said, hey, I'm looking for a job, that's the guy they're looking for.
Because you were actually interested.
Because you were actually
in
looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it wasn't something you put in the MedSOB. And people were like, hey, we'll get like 500 people down there.
Yeah.
And they go, that's what they didn't want and stuff. So, but let me go back a little bit, okay? Because I'm getting a little further ahead.
Yeah.
So, because I want to introduce, after I started working at the hospital, actually that's where I met my wife. She was in the kitchen, working in the kitchen, dietary side of it. And so if you talk to her, which I'm glad she's not here right now, she said I didn't do anything because I leaned against the wall, talked to a lot of people every day. Now, does that sound
That sounds exactly like the Frank that I know.
And so she goes, yeah, Frank actually worked there, but, he actually just talked to a lot of people down there and stuff. So, but actually it was really fun because they took care of me, the manager that ran housekeeping. I did a lot of things for him. He goes, hey, we need you to go do this. I was a runner and things like that. So I think we just got along, and they used me as a runner. And then I filled in vacancy, little spots here and little spots there. Back then, the hospital is no longer here. It was MCMC, Merced Community Medical Center. It was really strange. I always tell this story. And I go, I worked the first floor, so you take care of all the offices and things like the kitchen, all this stuff downstairs. All the floors where it has the patients. So, but the county morgue was in the main lobby of that hospital.
Really?
Yes. So every time they brought somebody in, they brought them from the back, brought them from the main lobby, from the rear. And if it was someone had been deceased for a while, you knew when they were bringing them in. And so you bring them in, and then they roll them into the morgue, and then they close the doors. But the stench was so strong.
Yeah.
And the kitchen was right around the corner.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Yes. And people were like, what's going on? What's that smell? So they go, Frank, we need you to come down and
Get rid of this.
bring a couple of cans of spray and spray the hallways. So I go, okay. So I spray.
Yeah.
But when they got done, like if they did an autopsy or something like that, down there at the morgue. Afterwards, they would call me and say, "Hey, we need you to clean the morgue." I said, "Okay, no problem." Well, I always hear stories from people that work there, like, "Oh man, that's a terrible place. Don't go in there." But when you open the double door, you walk in, and the coolers are right there. I mean, right there. And then there to your left, there's a door that takes you into the morgue. And in there was a slab, but it was complete darkness. So the light switch to that thing wasn't typically your light switch. Like right there, you turn it on, you could see what's
You
going
had to
on.
walk in there, huh?
No, you had to walk in, go to the left,
Oh, no.
go around the far wall.
Oh, no way.
Oh my God. I hit it because every time I turned the switch on, I always thought, who's going to be on the
Someone's right
Yeah.
there.
Somebody's
Be
leaving.
standing.
And the guy said there were times that happened.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, I hate this. So whenever they call me that, I would go down there. Anyway, so they cleaned it all up. And it was just something we had to deal with as
Yeah.
the county morgue down there at the hospital and stuff. So, but I met my wife. We dated for a couple of years, got married. It was we had a really good. It was really strange because in the 2 years that we dated, we typically only went out like 3 times
Like on dates, you mean?
on dates.
Yeah.
Even if you call it a date, I just had to meet.
How old were you at this point? Just so
I
when
was
you were at the hospital.
probably around 19.
19? Okay.
That
And
was
that's when you met her. That's when you guys started dating. 19.
Yeah, around 19.
Is this real quick before you go into the story? So is this like your first girlfriend and everything? Is this
No, I
just-
dated
okay.
one other girl and stuff. So after that and stuff, so maybe a couple. That was it.
Okay.
And then I met Lucy, and then we. But she came from very strict Portuguese family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I mean, I do.
He probably doesn't. But it was, very strict Portuguese family. And then the other thing was, she's Portuguese, I'm Mexican, and that kind of played a little bit into the whole. But they treated me with a lot of respect. Once I met her parents and stuff, we got along very well. The language is a little bit kind of hard to understand. But we, a lot of sign language. How you doing?
A lot of hands.
A lot of hand gestures. But we got along really well.
Yeah.
And if you ask my wife, she says, I think my parents like you more than they like me, but I disagree.
good.
That's a good relationship.
I disagree, but they loved her a lot. So, but anyway, and so, it was actually, for me, it was okay with that. A lot of people, there were some guys I worked with. They said, how do you do that? I couldn't do that. I wouldn't want to go on a date. I wouldn't want to go places.
Yeah.
Go do things. And for me, I was okay with that. It was a really good way. I knew what I kind of wanted out of a person, and she was the person I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they from Merced as well?
She actually was from the Azores, so she came here
Oh,
when
okay.
she was 10.
What island?
Terceira.
Just say that.
Yeah. So anybody's out there at Terceira, there's a lot of other people out there. But no, she's from Terceira.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she came when she was 10, and then she didn't go back till she was 18.
Oh.
And then we went recently, around a year and a half ago. We went there first time I went there, and it was the first time she went back since she was 18.
Oh, wow.
So it was like 40-something years since she went back. So a lot of things had changed for her. I mean, for
Sure.
me, it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful place to visit.
How long were you guys there for?
We were there on that particular island like 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
And then we went to Portugal, and then we were there for like another probably 4 or 5 days. And stuff.
Sweet vacation.
It was really nice, yeah. No direct flights, because all the direct flights that we were, they had direct flights, but they were all full. So we had to fly to Portugal first, 4-hour layover, and then from there we caught a plane, and then we went to Seda.
Yeah.
My mom and her sisters just bought a house in the Azores.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I ran into your dad here
Oh,
not
did
that
you?
long ago. He told me the story.
Yeah.
How it all kind of.
I don't know how stoked he is about it, but
Well, he sounded like. I think more challenging for him was just the different. Just for the fact that
Pico. They're on
carpentry, there's not a lot of people are in the field. He's remodeling the house
Yeah.
and stuff, and so there's not like here Home Depot, Lowe's,
Yeah, it's
all the
crazy.
hardware stores. So you're limited.
Yeah, Pico is the island. It's on.
Pico.
Yeah. I had text my aunt because I was like, I'm gonna bring this up. I can't remember what island.
Yeah.
I know which island they're from, which is Saint George. Is that what it is?
Who's that?
My mom and
Oh, is that where they're?
yeah, and
I think you're right. I think
and then but yeah, they bought the house in Pico. So I've never been. It would be interesting to go for like a week or two, but I know there's also unless you go to like the main island, like there's nothing to do. You just fish and drink.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like plenty
A lot
of
of socializing.
a lot of socializing. Yeah.
You know, if I go again, which we want to go again, I don't know if I want to really go on the peak period. Because when you're in the peak period, I mean, you're there and you think you're in Turlock.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Like you
runs-
mean like peak population?
No, and the stadium we're there, at the time we went, like in June,
Yeah.
everybody goes.
Oh, okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But you run into everybody there from
True.
Turlock and Hillmore.
Everybody's traveling. Peak tourism.
Yeah, which is good because, but you run into them and then you run into them again when you're back
Yeah.
and stuff. So, but the only reason why I'm saying that, like more like the off season, it's a little more quieter. And then that time that we went, they had a lot of festivals going on. So, which was really good. It was a nice,
Lot to
nice
do.
to see that as first person that's never gone there before and kind of see that part of the Azores, which was I really enjoy that. But if I went again, I think I'd do more of the off period, and then, but of course not
Shoulder
winter.
season. Shoulder season is
Yeah.
what it's called. So it's like right before peak or right after. So shoulder season.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
you want to go. That's like
And I think that's when I go. And it's not that I don't want to be around people. I love people, but I think it's just a different time period.
Yeah.
Just to go
a little
see that.
slower.
Different experience.
Yeah, maybe a little slower and stuff. So I definitely learn how to drive there.
Oh, okay.
Right? When you rent a car, you start driving. It's like, oh, somebody's behind me going 100 miles an hour. I'm going to pull over. And so you just pull over. And
Oh, they're not on like island time over there either, where they're like.
oh no, there are some people that drive pretty
I
fast.
wonder if they're just from.
And the
Turlock
roads are
to
short. I mean,
Helmar.
they're very narrow. They're narrow, so you're
Yeah.
like, gotta watch out.
Yeah.
Our part of the other family, my wife's sister just got back, and their son-in-law, this never been there either, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, people just around curves, you can't really see the other side." That's a little bit.
Did you check out the fire departments over there by chance? Like,
I actually on the in the city. I didn't stop by the station, but the city they had some pretty nice station, a nice station there. They had a couple calls when I was there. Lucy and I were eating at a restaurant, and they pulled up and they were taking care of a lady who had some issues and stuff. So, but yeah, Lucy had also some really good friends that came down there during a time period, and he came visit our station, and I get a little tour of the station,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Gave him a shirt, and stuff like that. So he was very young. He was just trying to get into fire service, and so it was pretty good.
That's cool.
So yeah,
yeah.
and I don't know what they do as far as like their salaries, how they get paid by the government, things like that. That I don't know as far as that goes.
No,
and stuff.
no, I was just curious if you went and checked it out and like.
No, I didn't. But we actually walked right in front of it because we were going to go see bullfights.
Oh yeah.
And so,
fun.
oh yeah, that was pretty good. We seen a couple bullfights as we were there, but you walk by the station, and that's where, yeah. But a lot of beautiful churches, lots of churches,
Yeah.
The architecture.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Was it bullfights in the streets?
I didn't see that at that
you
time.
didn't go?
There was one going on at the time. Actually, I was telling you Andrew Denez, and he was telling me that when I was there, his dad was there at the same time.
Oh, really?
And at that time, he said that he was with a friend, and his friend got hit by a bull pretty hard. And he was an older man, so he got hurt pretty bad. He said so. But we had gone somewhere else, part of the other side of the city, so we never got to see the streets and the
Yeah.
bulls and how they shut things down and stuff. So
Yeah. Either way, really cool. So you met your wife at the hospital. You guys dated. You guys got married. How many years later?
Well, we got married in '84, so we kind of dated for like maybe a couple years. Okay. So, a lot of letters. Typically today, texting would have been great for us. Yeah, we always talk about that. Everyone goes, "Wouldn't texting would have been great for us if we would
Just
have
writing
texting?"
letters back and forth.
or FaceTime.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do FaceTime. You can kind of, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Because she was living with her parents in Atwater. They went from L.A. They didn't like L.A. Her brother didn't like L.A. So he goes, hey, I don't want to live here.
Yeah.
So he had relatives in Atwater. So they came, met with them, and then they bought a house.
Oh, nice.
They had like 4.5 acres of almonds and stuff like that.
Nice.
So, and then, and that's where I would go visit her in Atwater and stuff. So I kind of knew all that area anyway. So I grew up in Merced.
Yep.
So,
Close enough.
and then we got married in '83. I'm sorry, in '84.
You better get that right.
Well, yeah, I started in '83 in the fire service. And a year later, we got married like a year and a half
Okay.
after. Yeah.
And that was Empires where you started, right?
Yeah, Empire.
Okay. How many years you do Empire?
I did 8 years there.
Oh wow.
I did. I started in '83, left in '91 and stuff. So, it was fun
Yeah.
because my first life experience in the fire service. Didn't know anything, So you're starting from scratch about this is this, this is it's a inch and a half hose, and this is a coupling, and this is a Y, this is a discharge. And
Right
you're
from
getting
the
to,
beginning.
you're getting to know this is our medical stuff that we have in our bag, and this is how we use it.
Did you have to
And
get
back
your
then,
EMT?
no EMT, no first responder, nothing.
showed up.
Just showed up.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. But the strange thing about that was, we're pulling hose off the engine, and as we're pulling, and they're kind of saying, okay, so we want you to lay things out, and we want you to see how it looks as we pull it. So we're pulling it out, laying it out, and so I'm walking backwards, and as I'm walking backwards, I stepped on a 2.5-inch play pipe nozzle on my left foot, and I fractured my ankle.
No way.
Yeah. So I was off work for 3 months.
Right
It
from
started for 2 weeks.
I would say that was right at the beginning.
Yeah.
What's the workman's comp process like?
Well, it's so funny you say that because the chief at the time says, hey, look, we're not going to pay you. You're going to get paid through the comp. And that's how, it was all new to me.
Yeah.
He goes, so don't worry about it. You'll get something. So I said, okay, no problem. So a month went by,
Nothing.
no salary. 2 months go by, no salary. And then one day I stopped by the station to talk to a couple guys there. Because I didn't not want to show up anymore for 3 months. So I was, keeping in touch with what I needed to do when I got back and stuff like that. So he just says, hey, Frank, it's been 3 months. He goes, I'm surprised you haven't got a check,
Me too.
So he goes, let me find out.
two
We'll
of us.
find out. I said, okay. So he called me up. He goes, you know what? There's a new law. We didn't know about it, but we're supposed to pay you the whole time you're off.
Yeah.
So stop by next week. We're going to give you a check for those 3 months of work.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
so I said, okay, no problem. Thank you. And I got back, got my check, deposited. A couple weeks go by. And then he says, hey, you know that check we gave you?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Apparently, she was told us bad information.
Oh, jeez.
So we weren't supposed to give you a check. So what we're going to do is you keep it, they're going to reimburse us. There was their mistake. So I said, okay, no problem. So that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but that was probably some stressful
I said, man,
times.
like this, workman's comp?
Yeah,
Get her all done.
Some people actually still think like that. So
But it was, so then, my whole year, when I got back to say, hey, we're going to extend your probation an additional 3 months because you've been off for 3 months. But he goes, unless you catch up and with everybody else, and we're going to test everybody at the same time. I said, no problem. And then my lieutenant, we had lieutenants, we have captains. That's what in Empire. He said, hey, no problem. We'll get you up.
Yeah.
And you'll take the test. No longer 3 month probation longer.
Yeah.
And then when the time came, we took a test. And then
Obviously, you passed.
I passed.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, passed and stuff. So, and which was really good. It was a great experience. But we had 3-man crews. We had a lieutenant, we had an engineer, and we had a firefighter in the back
For a very small district, too.
for a small district. And that was only that particular station, which is my understanding is Station 21, which is Station 1 by the
Oh,
airport.
yeah, by the airport. Okay.
Right there in the corner of Tenaya. Yeah. And so, and Mitchell Road. And it was so strange because when I worked there, the airport district was, right there, right behind where that station I worked at, right behind the airport.
Yeah.
But Modesto took care of a portion of that. Empire took it all the way to the river. And then when things, Modesto started taking things in, and then they went all the way to a park called Oregon Park, which was like Oregon Drive. And then that's as far as they went, everything south, that type of thing. We took everything on the other side, so of Oregon Park.
So it was all kind of starting.
Yeah, it was just like a little, yeah. So Modesto would respond code 3, go into a structure fire. You're there. You look outside and you go, oh my God, look, they got a structure fire going out there. Just big old black smoke. Or sometimes late at night, you can see big glow. And then the guys are just driving by waving at you.
Okay, so you didn't have mutual aid or anything, and it's like, nope, that's our district. Even
That's our
though
district.
it's
Old
your
school style.
station.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a bummer.
Yeah. And then the same thing with county. County was right down the street, right down the street. Also, they're just on the other side of Scenic Road. And then they had a station there. And so they used to go mutual to a lot. They had water tenders and stuff like that. So they would go Ceres a lot. They go to Keys a lot. And so they drive by, and it's only one guy. They drive the tender, and they're driving code 3 right by your station, honked in. And
Good old wave.
they wave, yeah. Because we know where we're going because we're under the same communication systems. You get to hear them when
Yeah.
they're going out. And that was a different kind of strange thing going to work for Turlock, because Turlock had their own. So you never heard anybody going out other than Turlock, unless you want to scan the whole county.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then if you work for the county, which is Empire Fire District, you listen to everybody.
Yeah.
out there, you know.
Yeah. So you did Empire for the 8 years. You said
8 years.
Okay, and then after Empire was Turlock.
Turlock.
Okay, and then that's where. Okay.
When did you?
That's where we're at. We're at Turlock.
Where in that did you have to like get your EMT?
It's actually it was probably around. Let me see. I left in 91. Probably like in 90.
Just before Turlock?
Well, you had to have an EMT.
That was the requirement.
That was required
Okay.
for Turlock.
Okay.
They had a class at Station 2, which is 22, that they opened up to the county. It was a 40-hour first responder class. Mm-hmm. And so they said, hey, we want this. We have this class. It was open to anybody, but there was a lot of volunteers that were going to, because Empire had a large amount of volunteers at that for a small fire district. And the strange thing about that district was, when I came to Turlock, they had pretty much the same amount of paid personnel as much as they had volunteers. So when I came to Turlock, 3 stations, we had 23, 24 paid personnel, and we had like 30, 40 volunteers. And when I came to Turlock, it was pretty much the same thing.
Interesting.
3 stations. Yeah. So it was actually a nice transition from one to the other. It wasn't like you're going to like a 40 station
Yeah.
department,
Okay, so maybe I'm just not up on the
Go ahead.
history of Turlock. So there was. What were your volunteers out of? They were just like kind of like residents that would just hop on the engines. with
No,
you guys?
for Empire, but for Empire, yeah, they had no resident program, so they just responded to calls.
Yeah, the pager went
The
off.
pager go off, they responded to calls.
Personal vehicle to the call for
First
as manpower.
yeah,
Okay.
and then they could go to anything they wanted to.
Okay.
It wasn't like you could only respond to vehicle accidents or structure fires.
Sure.
You go to everything.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and then the same thing when I came to Turlock, all the volunteers could respond to any call they wanted to.
But they're not getting on the engine. They are
They're
responding.
not getting on the engines. No.
Okay.
But we don't. When I came to Turlock, they had a resident program, and so those firefighters came in, and you were assigned a resident. But these typically, when you had a resident, they're young firefighters, and typically someone that wanted to get in the fire service.
Sure.
Typically, they find someone that was going to be 40 years old, 45 years old, and he wanted to spend some get on an engine and go code 3 on calls and anything throughout the night. You didn't find that often. It was always someone that was
18 to 21,
20,
yeah.
21, 20, trying to get in the fire service and stuff. So
For sure. Okay. That's pretty cool. So
And when you came on, sorry.
No, you're
cut you off. 2-0 at the time. So that was the third guy was you had a resident.
we had a resident.
That was your firefighter.
Yep.
So that was different from the Empire because you had 3 people.
Well, Station 1 had 3.
Oh, that's right. You said the one did.
Station 22 had 2. And then the other Station 23, which is Station 3 by the foot yard, had 2.
Yeah. And then you came here and it was 2-0, all 3 stations. Didn't,
You know, and
didn't even
Empire-
have Station 4 yet.
No, Station 4 wasn't built in Turlock yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it not built, but
It was built, but it wasn't the station yet.
it was a station.
So, I mean, did you guys usually hire the residents at the time? Like
Turlock?
Yeah.
They really wanted to hire the residents.
Okay.
If they worked out that they were someone there was very loyal, committed.
Yeah.
They knew that they wanted to get in the fire service. They really strongly.
They were local.
Even when I got hired with Turlock, it was a strong hiring process to their volunteer organization. Yeah. They really wanted to promote their fire. Their
From within.
their residents and stuff, their volunteers and stuff. So, but for me, what had happened was, we had a captain that was with Turlock. He opened to the county a class, and so I said, I'm interested in that class because I'm interested because I was already living in Turlock. I'm interested in Turlock, so I got to know him, and I was taking classes through MJC. And we got to know each other pretty good. So that class came up, I took it. And it was all to do with driver operator. That's what it was. Driver operator, to teach them how to drive their engines because Turlock only hired drivers. They didn't have firefighters.
Yeah.
So yet they wanted you to have some experience as a driver. When I was a driver with Turlock, I was an engineer with Empire. So I had the experience. I just needed to get them to know who I am.
Yeah.
Right. And see if I could fit into their culture and how they ran things here. Took the class. It went really well. They were applying. They were taking applications. Went through the process, and the guy that was number one, he was one of the residents, and now it came in number two.
Dang, you weren't even top of your class.
But he was a resident.
All right,
So
all
there
right,
you go.
all right.
You got like 10 points for me just because he was a resident.
Who was the chief that hired you?
Bob Carlson.
Carlson.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I have a question about culture, if you can explain it, because sometimes like people ask like, "What's the fire culture? What was the fire culture back then?" Because you said like trying to fit in, and like, yeah. So,
Well, I think the fire culture is still there as far as that goes. You're there for 48 hours. Back then, it was 24 on. It was the Kelly schedule: 24
Oh, really?
on, 24 off, 24 on, 24 off, 4 days off.
Mm-hmm.
nice
and
for
then
local
years,
people.
yeah, and actually that was really good for the local people. And then the 48-96 schedule came in later, and so that was really a commuter schedule. You know, people could live out really far away and then work 2 days and go home for 4. Right? I mean, that was a really good thing and stuff. So, but as far as the culture goes, I mean, I think it hasn't really changed a lot. They want you to be part of a group, and I'm not saying like a boys club or anything like that. Nothing like that. They just want to make sure you get to fit in because you're there for 48 hours together, and if you can't get along with who you're working with, I mean, that's a bad thing.
It's tough.
Right. It's a tough 48 hours and stuff. So, and we had those incidents here in Turlock, and it made it very hard.
They're everywhere. I was just curious because like some people will, like, I don't know, more recently people are like, they don't even word it as culture. They're just like, oh, what's the Firehouse talk or whatever. I'm like, dude, it's just, imagine going camping with your buddies.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to invite the buddy who's always super negative and like doesn't mesh well with others? No, like, you know that in real life. So it's kind of the same thing. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your background is. It's, can you come together and like have a really positive experience in, if you're a busy house, like obviously you're running tons and tons of calls, but if you're not, you're just experiencing life together.
Sure.
And like, you got to be able to mesh. So like, I just was curious if it was any different.
No, they really strongly, they really wanted people to get along really, really well. I mean, because it could be very miserable, right? And you basically explained it very well as far as regarding like going on a trip, and then you're taking someone that you really don't care to be with, and then you're coming into your group, and it's like, this is a very miserable family trip.
Now you're living with that person for
Yes. And so, and it's more that it wasn't more like you just said, it wasn't a racial thing. It wasn't that type of stuff. It was just more, can you get along? Can you get along? Can you work together? Because you have to depend on that person for those 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what call you go on to, and you get to a point where you kind of understand each other very well, that how you think and how you're going to react. And I don't have to tell you every step of the process, that you know that, hey, we got a fire here. We got an exposure on the A side, B side, C, D, whatever side of the building. That you know that, hey, you got an exposure line on the A side. You know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain that. And that's a huge, you talk about making it easy for a captain, for have a really good crew that works very well. That makes your job very easy.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, yeah. So that part of it was, I think that's part of the culture that you mesh together.
Yeah.
And you get along very well.
living with somebody.
Yes.
Yeah. When did that schedule switch? Do you remember?
I was, at the time I was the union president at the time. I was going to say probably maybe around 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like a long time
Oh, wow.
ago. Yeah, no.
It was after 3.0 staffing? Or was it before that? They got...
No, we already had 3.0 staff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
It hasn't been a long time.
You're talking about in the 2010s? Like that's when it switched?
Yeah. It wasn't like a super long time. It was, well, most of you guys don't know who they are, but Kurt Summers was one of the captains that worked here. Mm-hmm. And I think he left probably, I think I just saw that he's going to be 65. I think I saw something. And he probably left maybe around 12, 13 years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah. And stuff. So it wasn't like a super long time that it happened. And
Yeah.
stuff. So, but
Fairly
it was
recent.
actually good. It was a good change.
So was that change because all the guys wanted it, or was that a recruitment change so that you could hire?
No, it was a change that was brought up by the union members.
The body?
Yeah, the body wanted to see this change and stuff. But, it was really strange at the time because I was running the union, I was the union president time, and there's so much different opinions on this whole 4896. Some guys liked it, some guys didn't, some guys didn't want to go. At the time, the chief says, hey, I got to have a big number. I'm not going to do a 50-50 split on you guys. If you guys are interested in this, I'm okay with it. We just got to sit down and kind of figure out how we're going to run as a department, that type of thing, and how it's going to affect our daily operations and how you're going to get up, when you get up, because you're not going to go home, that type. And so a lot of that stuff was just sitting down, talking to the chief and work things out, the details.
Yeah.
But it was more, he goes, but I don't want to split this department 50-50. It has to be a big number, 75% or more at least, because that way at least I know majority of the department wants to change.
Yeah.
Because one thing I don't want to do is just have the department be upset.
Divided right in half.
But then after the ones who didn't really want to go, they kind of noticed how it worked.
Realized how great
and they knew it was a good idea. It was a good thing.
Yeah, we're going through that right now with our department.
Are you?
Oh yeah, we were doing 72, so you had the same shift all the time, and now it's a rotating because they're trying to build to a 4896, and I don't know what the split is, but obviously the majority ruled, and right now it's for 2 months you're on the same 3-day work period with a drop day somewhere in between, and then every 2 pay periods you rotate back 2 days. And that's currently what it is, and then we're building to a 4896, but then you have, especially people who put their time in are just basically super upset. And I'm just curious. I know that it's going to smooth over. Give it 5 years or so, and it's all going to smooth over. But the guys that are retiring in the next, at least 5 years are all
not happy.
At least the ones I talk to, they're not happy. They love their set schedule. It worked for their family, and I totally hear them out. But like when it comes to the betterment for the long haul, that schedule is definitely going to be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing the same thing. So I was curious, like how long it took the other whatever amount of people to get over it.
Yeah, it was the chief, like I said, he really definitely, I mean, you got a big department, right? You grew for Cal Fire?
Yeah.
Right. So you got a huge organization. I mean, we're dealing with, at that time, maybe, 30-something people, 38, trying to make this all work out.
Yeah, if we're dealing with the largest department in the world.
Yeah.
So.
So you're dealing with a lot of different personalities and stuff like that, which, everybody has their personalities and people that work in different departments and stuff. And so try to get all those people to be on the same page is going to be very, very difficult. But you're right. Is what's the best for the organization, best for the department, long term, and how it's going to affect.
I mean, I think it's already nice. That's just for me. I don't know because I don't have kids, so like I'm an outlier probably, but I'm just like, dude, this is awesome.
I remember talking to you about it before you guys were doing it, and you're like, oh, I like my days, and
I do like set
the
days.
rotation, and I'm like, just give it.
Sorry, I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like that's what I work, and like I just know. I know all my stuff, and now with the rotation, it takes a minute, but I got used to it. It was like, dude,
it's so much better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really getting my drop days because we don't have the staffing yet, so I'm still working those days, but that's okay. It's just built-in overtime.
Yeah.
But no, I like it. I like it too. I was
You
just
don't
curious.
get boned working Saturday, Sunday, Monday for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and like you can't
for the
do any
first half of your
vacations.
career, you're working weekends, and then all of a sudden you get that schedule where you're
Sure.
So now you're rotating every 2 months, and you're like, oh well.
Yeah,
I get my weekends, and now I get.
I've been working weekends for the last 2 months, and now I get my weekends off for 2 months. So like, because all your friends, that are not in the fire service,
people,
they all have weekends off. So like, they always want to do stuff on the weekends, and like, I haven't seen a handful of friends because I've been working weekends now for basically 4 months. So I haven't seen a handful of friends for 4 months now.
Sure.
So like, it's kind of nice. It gives me the opportunity to.
Every once in a while, I meet up with them.
Yeah. They all have kids, so I have to go to their kids' birthday parties. So it's like, that's how I get sick. That's how I get my one sickness a year is when I go to their kids' birthday parties.
Yeah.
So not super stoked by that. Anyway.
Oh, and one thing, when I had left Empire and it came to Turlock, I had some issues when I got hired with Empire because I broke my leg. I had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Then I come to Turlock, and good probationer firefighter out there cleaning the floors, cleaning the floors, mopping. I had just started. I kind of like my first couple weeks of work. I'm outside, and at the time, the union president comes in because they just had a negotiating meeting, and I'm out of the whole conversation. I don't want to be part of this whole thing going on. I'm just listening.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's
Just
good
listening,
farming.
right? And so I'm doing my thing, and then I'm listening, and they're saying, things are not looking good. They're talking about, maybe possible layoffs. They're talking about maybe cutting some salaries. They're talking about different things that just not look good right now for us. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me?
I just started here.
I just started here. Why did they hire me? I just left a department that had plenty of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't laying anybody off. We just had our child like a month ago.
Oh, wow.
My wife decided to go. She decided before this whole time to go to school full time. She had quit her job.
See the breadwinner.
Yeah, I was it.
Tough
The
times,
provider, yeah.
potentially.
So I'm telling you, my first year, it was up and down.
Yeah.
And one of the scenarios, like I was given a couple scenarios. One of them was start looking for another job. Okay. The other option was, you know what? If we have to lay you off, we'll lay you off, reapply all over again. We're going to hire you back as a contract employee, no benefits, no pension,
Doesn't
no
work for you.
medical, and we're going to cut your salary.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wow.
It doesn't work. You have a
Can I
brain
come back?
Yeah, is Fire still hired?
Are you hiring?
Yeah.
But that was a whole year, and it was rough. It was
Yeah.
a rough.
And if you would have stayed at Empire, you would have just been absorbed into Modesto eventually, right?
Well, they never got his.
Stand consolidated.
Consolidated.
Yeah.
I didn't know where it was exactly. So
Yeah. No, it's okay. Because even back then, when the guys I worked for at Empire, even back then, they were telling me, goes, look, you need to, they're telling all the young guys, start looking.
Okay.
Because this department could be absorbed.
Yeah.
And if it gets absorbed, whoever absorbed it, which is most likely Modesto,
It's their
there's no
choice.
guarantee
Yeah.
you're going to have a job. So start looking. And that's why I started looking around and stuff. So,
Awesome. So how did the career with Turlock go?
well, after my year, the whole year, on probation, it was a rough year. But then finally, at the last, probably I would say the last month before my probation was over, it was still going on. But then I said, you know what? It's out of my hands. And my wife and I sat down, and we had a lot of faith, but we just said, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. We'll deal with it if it happens and stuff. So they never laid anybody off. I never lost my job. I didn't have to come back as a contract employee. And believe me, before I got hired, they hired 3 firefighters, and they were contract employees. No benefits, no
Dang.
pension. Their salaries were less than when I came to Turlock. They were not happy with me because I came with benefits, more salary, probably a good $700 more a month than they were making as contract employees. And they had just finished their probation, and I got hired. And it's like, this is not right.
Yeah.
This guy just got hired.
Jealousy stinks
and
a
he
little
got
bit.
all the benefits and making more money.
Did they end up getting?
Eventually, we had during the president at that time had to negotiate back their salaries back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
and so they finally got all their benefits.
Nice.
Okay. So you're a firefighter in Turlock, and
Well, yeah, you're right. When you say firefighter, yeah, we're all firefighters.
no,
right?
you were a driver.
I was a
sorry.
driver.
I'm sorry. Yeah, they were only hiring drivers.
We were only hiring drivers. Yes.
Yeah. So you
And
got.
it was good. Yeah. I remember my first couple calls. I was because I felt really comfortable driving the engine.
Yeah.
That was a thing. It was just starting to drive a city that I never really
Yeah.
knew that well, because I had just moved to Turlock back.
What did you have? What were you guys driving? Just they were Type 1s?
Van Pelts.
Okay.
Van Pelts. They're still there.
We're actually in one right now.
See, there you go. I think my understanding, I wasn't there in the process when they got picked up. Apparently, we got those the same time Modesto got theirs. So they both went down there, picked up the engines, and they actually back then they drove them back, right?
Yeah.
You drive them back and stuff. So they don't do that anymore, of course. But back then, yeah, they went to the Van Pelt.
Did you have?
Well, I'm talking about Van Pelt, of course, was in Oakdale. So that's where they built them at.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other ones later that we started buying later, they go down there and they bring them back home.
Yeah. Was the squirt there when you got hired?
Squirt was there.
Yeah.
Didn't Air? No, he went to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Mexico. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun driving that. We had
Do you have pictures of it? So I can,
sport?
so I can add it to the.
I don't.
Oh,
No.
I can just pull one.
Lucy's got a picture of you with next to that thing somewhere.
Yeah, come on.
There's a photo
It
out.
was a 50-footer. And I was part of the...
If we can get the photo, I'll add it here. But
Okay. I'll see if I can find the picture of it.
Lucy
but,
can find. She's like, oh, I know where that is.
things are different. Polaroid camera.
So it's gonna be an old
5mm.
It's gonna be a little photo. It's gonna be awesome.
Nowadays, like, take a picture. I mean, you got it right there with you, that type of thing. So,
Where were you stationed at? Did you guys rotated on probation, and then where'd you get assigned?
well,
you guys still rotated when you were.
yeah. So what happened was we used to rotate once a year. We had 3 stations, and until we did our 4th one. But for 1 year, you worked a station, and you rotated another station for another year, and then a 3rd one.
And the captain went the other way.
And then so you go. I can't remember if it was the captains went they clockwise, and the other guys went counterclockwise. But then you only work with that captain for 6 months, because you're off by 6 months each. So you work for 6 months, and then he moves. You stay there, you get a new captain. He's gonna be there for a year. 6 months later, you're gone to a different station, which actually I actually enjoyed it. That rotation, doing that, because
See the whole city.
wow, you really get to know the city very well. Yeah, you get to know different parts from the industrial part of it, the freeway calls you going on the freeway. Compared if you're working at 33, which is over there in Monte Vista and Guerrero, you're hardly going on the freeway. So you take different calls that are out there and stuff. So, so it kind of give you a lot of rounded experience.
and then you're not jealous of 32 who's sleeping all night.
No, I actually enjoyed.
I don't work for Turlock City. For those guys listening, I just
You
remember.
don't know what the fuck you're
hang on
talking
a
about,
second.
bro. You don't know
Hang on a second. We already did a podcast. Who was it? And they were like, "Oh yeah, it slept for an entire." Was it Weimer? What?
Maybe it might have been.
I slept for. It was like a Christmas miracle. Basically, they slept for
whatever, dude.
almost a whole
You
year.
don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was up twice last night.
Somebody likes my comment. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't. Yeah.
I actually enjoyed working all of them. I worked, and then we opened up the 4th station, and I enjoyed every one of those stations. They all had their differences.
Yes.
Oh, they did. They had different types of calls that you would respond to that you would typically want to have on one side of town to the other.
Very specific districts.
Yeah. There definitely are, and you get to, and at least for me, you get to meet different cultures, different parts of the city, and it was just, to me, it was great and stuff. I enjoyed it, and then we stayed away with that. We went away from that type of rotation, and that was okay. You just had to get used to it. But I definitely missed that rotation.
When did that go? Was that when the firefighters got hired, or was it before that?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a while since that we did that rotation. And matter of fact, I even asked one of the chiefs there at the time. I said, you know what? Can I go back on? Because I was stationed at I can't remember what station was, but I was like, you know what? I really like rotating. So I asked him, I said, hey, can I go on? What do you call it? When
Suitcase?
Rover.
Oh,
Can I
relief.
be a rover?
Relief, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, sure, you can be a rover if you want. And most guys don't want to be a rover,
They want a station.
They want to leave all their
station.
gear at one
At
station.
one station there, you're at. And he goes, sure, I'll put you as a rover. He goes, but you're committed for a year.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, maybe I don't want to. So I didn't. I just stayed at my station and stuff. So yeah, I thought I would say, I'll do it for 6 months.
Yeah.
And stuff. So just to try to do it again and stuff. So, but yeah, I really think roving's really good, but you get tired of moving your stuff after a while and stuff. So, but
Yeah,
It's just different.
all your stuff is living in your car, and
yep.
It's
yeah, that
definitely
part's
different.
annoying. But if you already live in Turlock, like it's not that big of a deal
No.
to like.
Yeah, I left something behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go pick it up real quick. No, that's awesome.
Tell us about the RAC program, Frank.
Well, the RAC program started a while back.
Well, for those who don't know, right, random acts of kindness.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
the random act of kindness. And how that kind of started was we the union, we have the union that deals with, bargaining, contracts and stuff like that you do. And RAC was never meant to, the union was never meant to fund that program. Things that we want to do on the outside of, helping people in the community. So we were doing that at that time. We were like, okay, hey, look, this family had an issue. We'll take union money and we'll use that. then we did on another incident. And then Columbia Pool, the city a while back says we're gonna shut it down because there's no money. We're gonna be possibly closing Brown stations after a while, and so they're gonna close a pool down for that year, to keep it open, it was gonna cost $6,000. And so we decided as a union we're gonna go ahead and make the donation to the city so we can keep it open for the summer, so the kids have somewhere to swim for the summer. So we did that. But the money was never meant to come out of the union funds.
Yeah.
So we decided to say, look, we need to do something different. So we said, let's do some type of random act of kindness account. And, we had to get a 501c account set up. We're still affiliated with our local 2434. But we just felt it needed to be separated between one and the other. But, we address everything we have concern. We always run it through our union president if there's a concern that he feels that we need some different direction. So we just don't make our decisions on our own as far as the committee goes. So we decided hey, let's just go ahead and do that. But how are we going to generate money? How are we going to put money into that account so we could run our program? So at that time they had I feel bad, but we had the Jerry Lewis, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of the word now. The telethon. They had a Jerry Lewis telethon. With the firefighters, the boot drive they do.
The boot drive?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the word.
Like a fundraiser? Or?
Yeah, you can look at it.
It's fine. We can edit this out, but real quick, you said it was a Jerry what?
Jerry Lewis. It was a...
Talking about a telethon?
Yeah.
Telethon. It was called the Jerry Lewis MDA Labor Day
Muscular Dystrophy
Telethon.
Association, MDA.
MDA.
Okay. So we had we had a boot drive every year, and then we would do the money that we
That was
raised.
like 1966. What are we doing here?
Well, that program started many years ago.
2011.
Right? And it was really, really strong, supported by the firefighters. Really strong. And the money they raised would go to the Jerry Lewis MDA, right? And so at that time, we had a captain. It was an engineer at the time. He was running it through the union, and we would do a boot drive, and the money we raised would go to the MDA. We go to the telethon. I think they went to Sacramento. They submit a check. They bring firefighters that come in, different departments, and they would do that.
Yeah.
So we said, look, we could do a boot drive, but we can't. It had to be a boot drive for the random act of kindness, and we're only going to do one boot drive.
So it goes back in the community.
Yes, and so I said, in a way, we're helping our community still. But it stays locally.
Yeah.
It was a little different conflict between, should we do it, not do it? Because the MDA was a great organization. They did things for many, many, many years. But at that time, we just said, look, we need to actually do things for our community, people that live here, and what can we do? So we ended up doing we got away from the MDA, and then we did a boot drive, and then we just did money we raised would go to the random act of kindness account. So we started that. One of the things that we said that we're going to do, we're going to reimburse our union the $6,000 that they had used to keep that pool open. So one of the things we did it in a couple of years. We gave them a $3,000 check one year, and the following year we gave them another $3,000 check just to reimburse the union, because at that time we were doing that transition of this is what we're going to do. And we told them, I said, hey, look, it's not fair that we took the money out of the union.
Yeah.
It needs to go back. So then after that, the money that we raise, and we do one boot drive because for our communities the third Saturday in May, and then now we do a craft feed that we have done probably like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, at least.
And then we do that in January.
So the third Saturday of May every single year, you guys do it over there, Monte Vista Crossing, right?
Monte Vista Crossing.
And then where's the crab feed held?
The craft feed, we did it in the very beginning. We did it at the Assyrian Hall on Golden State, and now we do it at Larsa Hall.
Larsa Hall.
And was the rack your brainchild, or who were the founders of the initial idea?
It was myself and a couple guys, but
Yeah.
I had stepped out of the union president at the time, and so I knew kind of how important was the union side of it. So I said, we definitely need to do something for our community. And I'm a really strong component of helping our community.
Driven, big time.
I know you guys have done some amazing things with the money. So utilizing the Random Acts of Kindness Fund, what are some of your favorite things that you guys have funded for the community?
Well, every year we donate $5,000 to the city, and the money goes to for the Christmas parade, downtown Christmas parade, and we've done that from the very beginning. So we probably donated like 60,000 in the time period, 5,000 a year, and we had some strict guidelines as far as how that money would be used. We can't use it for like paying for employees to work. It's strictly just paying for things that they need out there, like more lighting. They said, look, we're not going to use the funds to pay fire to be out there, or pay PD or Parks and Rec to put signs out. And they said, hey, if we need to rent more porta potties, then we're going to use those funds to do that, or we're going to use that for lighting. So we wanted to make sure they were going to be used the right way. Instead of, we felt like the city should take care of the responsibilities of salaries. That's their part. But the union, we felt strongly that we could, hey, this is great. If we need more lighting, it will protect people in the certain area.
Bolster
areas.
the experience.
Yes, and more lighting, so they would have more, places where people would fall, trip, things like that. Areas that they felt was kind of dark and stuff. So, so we felt that was important, that we needed to do something like that, more of a safety thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we do that. We've been doing that for many years. Scholarships, we do scholarships every year. We really, really strongly try to find a student who's interested in the fire service. I mean, because we always try to promote fire service as much as we can.
Yeah.
But if we can't find one, then we go step two. And step two is if a parent that's not necessarily a Turlock parent, but it could be a Modesto parent that lives here, a family that lives in Turlock as well, and their kids are going to Turlock High or Pittman, Turlock Christian. We could offer that scholarship to that student as long as their parent was in the fire side of it and stuff. So, but there has been incidents. We try to really follow those guidelines, but there's incidents where, like, to say, okay, they don't meet both those requirements, but this is a very special student.
Yeah. And I know that Turlock City in general does like a lot of things. Like, I know you guys do some stuff for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Is that part of the Random Acts of Kindness, or is that something completely separate with the union?
You talking about the Christmas, like Toys for Tots?
Yeah, Toys for Tots, but then isn't Thanksgiving? Don't you guys like put some food? And
Well,
stuff
we
together?
do. We'll try to meet a family,
Okay.
find a family that's, just down their luck financially. Just we will supply all the food for the family,
Okay.
so they can have a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
But a lot of it comes from the firefighters. When I say firefighters, I'm talking about the captains, engineers. I'm talking about the
line
firefighters,
personnel.
the line personnel. If they feel, hey, look, we have a call, and this family really needs some help, then we as the committee, they said, hey, if Lou says, hey, this is important, then we need to listen to him. It's a group decision of his engine company to say it's important. And if they feel it's strong enough, then as a group we say, hey, we're with that.
Yeah.
We're good with that and stuff. So there's times where we try to look more into the story, of.
Yeah, it's always out of the kindness, and you want to do the right thing.
Yes.
But if you don't look into it, and then all of a sudden you funded something you shouldn't have funded,
Yes.
it's obviously it's an accident, and it happens all over the place. We see it on social media all
Sure.
the time.
Correct.
But I can see, yes, you got to do a little bit of due
Yes.
diligence to make sure that you're making the right decision there.
And we do, and we try to look at, okay, who are we talking about?
Yeah,
Things
you don't want to be funding your local drug dealer.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
well, yeah, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. I get it.
But but our whole mission is just to be kind to people in the community. Really, it is. It's trying. And one of the things, as captain, that when I worked, if I had a new firefighter that came in and never worked under like myself or my engineer who I had at the time, one of the first conversations we have at the dinner table when we talk is what we expect out of them. Right, you're a firefighter. And one of the things I always tell them, no matter who I had, I said, look, our number one thing is you treat these people with a lot of respect out in the public. There are people that we serve every day, and you're important that I don't want to hear anything from you ever to say that, oh, this person's this person's that, this individual is this. I said, I don't want to hear it, because we're here to serve. And when we serve, We help the community, and if sure we're going to question things, but we're going to question as a group, and if we all agree on something. But our number one goal is to try to treat people with a lot of respect in our community. We serve them; they expect a lot from us, and we owe that to them, to a point, right? I mean, we don't want to be treated bad either. You know, it goes both ways. You got to treat us with a lot of respect, and we'll treat you with a lot of respect, and back and forth.
Absolutely.
You definitely, I think everyone agrees, like you're very customer service oriented. That's a big priority for you. Where'd that come from? Was your family that way, or is that
In the restaurant industry, and he was sweeping and mopping.
You got to deal with people in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it comes from, the ability to talk to people and, like, you know.
Well, I'm a whole different person than I was back then. And I was pretty quiet. I didn't say nothing. I think what happens when I left Turlock, when I left Empire to come to Turlock, I was very quiet. But I told myself when I left Empire to come here, I said, you know, why am I this being so quiet? Why am I need to be a little more vocal and people to know who I am, but also take a stand what I believe in. Right? And I don't think I did that because I was really timid, right? When you first get into fire service and you get to know different people, it's a whole different culture, things that you'd never done before.
Yeah.
So when I came to Turlock, it was like, but the good thing about Turlock, they gave you the opportunity. They give you an opportunity to make, if you want to do something, go with it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it's a good thing, right? They're not going to deny, no, we're not going to support that.
Yeah.
They've always supported anything that, as long as it's a positive thing for the community, they've always give you the, hey, go ahead and go with it.
Yeah.
Just keep us informed. What are you going to do? That type of thing.
Yep.
So the customer service part of it, I don't really know. Honestly, I think it's just
in your
my
nature.
parents were very giving family, you know.
Yeah.
They, you know, my brothers and sisters, I have 9 brothers and sisters and stuff. So, yeah.
You're a good sharer.
I'm second to the last. So, out of the second to last, we were the last 2 that never had to work the fields. All 7.
Really?
They all worked the fields, harvested tomatoes, whatever the season was. My dad felt it was very important for them. You know, education is important. Go to school, you know, and hard work.
Work ethic, yeah.
Yeah. And so he took me out for one time, and then I never went back. Not because I did anything bad or anything. It's just that at that time, things were changing for us. Our kids, our brothers and sisters were getting older. They're already going to college. He already taught them what they needed. My dad, that wasn't his sole. My dad retired from the railroad, but his weekends is to work the fields. Saturday and Sunday, right? That type of thing. And then he took his kids out there you're going to come on weekends and you're going to work.
Yep.
And so they would go out and work with them and come back home. But really at that time, you know, we needed that extra money. You know, we needed the extra money and stuff. So, you know, I always remember going with my dad to a store. It was an Asian market, kind of like, what was the one on East Avenue? National Market? The one that closed?
I think so.
National Market?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I remember going there as firefighters because our station is Station 31, which is right around the corner. And we would go there, pick up some groceries that we needed. And the lady that worked, the owner, her name was Virginia. And Virginia was an amazing lady. You could just watch her. People would walk in, they buy their groceries. If they didn't have the cash, she had a little notepad. She would write their name, who you are, how much with the dollar amount. And she trusted them that they were going to come back and pay her.
Yeah.
My dad did the same thing. It was also an Asian market in Merced off of Yosemite Boulevard, 140 takes you to Yosemite, right? Mariposa. And my dad would go there and he would buy his food and then he would write things, you know. And my dad was the simple things, rice, beans, tortillas.
Yeah. You're not buying beer or anything like that.
Yeah, the things that you need. It wasn't like cereal, you know, cookies and things like this, the essentials for survival.
Yeah.
You know, that
So
type
this
of-
customer service basically came from your childhood of do unto others as you want done to you.
Pretty much.
Kind of thing. So like, we're going to treat people with respect and obviously respect in return, but I'm going to treat you how I want to be treated.
Correct. Yeah. And, you know, and very fortunate, my wife is the same way.
Yeah.
Very giving, helpful, wants to help people. And for us, it's just it's a good thing for us because we both are on the same page.
Yeah, of
and we
course.
both feel the same way, which I wasn't fighting against her, like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. Why are you helping the community? That type of
Yeah,
thing.
of course.
And in this case, she was always like very supportive. So whatever I did, she goes, hey, whatever you need, if you need anything from us, let me know. But she let me do whatever we needed to do.
Yeah, but it's not all money, right? Like even the random acts of kindness and what you're talking about right now. Like I've seen some posts and stuff with you guys, and like finishing people's lawn work. You took them to the hospital, and you guys would finish mowing their lawn or whatever it is too. So that
Yeah, some things are not money wise, right? Some things
No.
are just
and sometimes those are more appreciated than anything.
Acts,
yeah.
support.
So-
And if our of course they're secured, but our engines have a credit card on them.
Yeah.
And the credit cards are set for the captains. So if they're in the crews, the firefighter engineers, they're set up there. So whenever they need to run to an issue where they need to help someone, the card's there for them to use. And we've always wanted that to be part of that way the firefighters or engineers doesn't have to take money out of his pocket to figure out how he's going to pay for this, or groceries for someone he felt like they needed some help with something. It's a random thing, whatever they come across it. So the cards are there for them to use.
Yeah, I like that. What's more something recently? Because I was talking about what you use for random acts of kindness, and I know you hit the Christmas parade.
The Christmas parade, we did scholarships. It was a Julian school, had somebody break in, stole all their tools for their gardening tools for the kids because she was teaching the kids how to garden.
Oh yeah.
Somebody opened up their tool shed that they had and stole all their tools. So the firefighters, we saw the posting. We ended up buying all the gardening tools that they needed and replenish everything they
Do
needed.
some of these big stores like Home Depot or Lowe's or even whatever, do they kind of help you guys out too with the purchasing at all, or do you guys not ask? Do you not? Because
We typically don't ask.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it comes out that we're asked, that we don't ask, but if we're talking to them, so hey, what are you guys doing? What are you guys, boy, you guys got a lot of tools here. What are you guys doing? And then we'll tell them. And they go, oh, hold on for a second. And
they would talk to the manager, see if
you
we
out.
can
They'll
get
help
at least
us out.
10%. Like
Yeah.
that's cool not to do the taxes. That's
But we don't typically don't ask when we go there.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
I
just
tell you who was very helpful as Costas Market.
Yeah, Rochelle's dad was manager of that. Is he
Forever.
still?
No, he just retired.
Yeah.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, Mr. Avila.
Yeah.
What's Mr. Avila's first name? I don't remember.
Mister.
It's Mr. Sorry, Mr.
Rochelle's
Avila.
dad, Avila.
Rochelle's dad.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah, he was all. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, very giving man.
Super nice.
I think
great family.
People that frequent Costless knew who the manager was.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Oh
he's
yeah,
very-
everybody knew Oscar.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if I went there, I walked in, grabbed something, Oscar would always say, Frank, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm picking up a couple things for home. He goes, oh, okay, no problem. And then next time he goes, what are you doing? I said, oh, he goes, so you're doing this, doing that? And I go, yeah. He goes, so you need anything? He goes, well, I'm here to, we're doing the every 50-minute program.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go ahead and buy a bunch of stuff that we need, bread, lettuce, tomatoes,
Hot
condiments and stuff like that. Let me know when you get to this cashier. And then there you go. He's donating stuff as we're there
Yeah.
and stuff. So he's very, very giving individual, Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always willing to
Awesome
help the
family. They're super nice.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is like every 50-minute program.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for like many years. We were doing both. We were cooking lunch and dinner, but lunch was usually pizza, things like easy,
Yeah,
or a
super
bunch
easy.
of pizzas and stuff. They decided, look, it's not fair for you guys to bring lunch and dinner, but if you could continue doing dinner, that'd be great. So we get a group of firefighters and we barbecue at a park, wherever they're having their event at. And we really don't know where they're going to have their event at because a lot of times they don't want to tell the parents where they're taking they don't want a lot of people to know where they're at because it's supposed to be secluded. They don't want a bunch of parents arriving.
Yeah.
They want their kids to be put to the side and kind of go through different scenarios
Part of the
within.
program.
Yeah.
part
It's
of
a
the
very
program.
emotional program
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, and so we cook the dinner for them. So we'll, which is hamburgers, and we always ask the teachers, the staff, is there anything special this year you want different?
Simple.
What you typically do.
Keep
Just-
it simple.
It's really simple. Do some burgers. Kids love burgers,
Yep.
chips, drinks. So we typically spend like around $500 for that.
Yeah.
For that. So the money comes through that program as well. And then we've had bikes stolen,
Yeah.
and so we'll buy a bike for a student or somebody got stolen.
for the every 15-minute program, do you guys work closely with like TAPO, with Turlock Police Department, like their union, to do anything with that? No.
No.
Okay, so you guys are just doing the dinner and then obviously supplying the manpower. Now that's obviously on duty.
No.
No,
So you're talking about the actual presentation at the school.
Presentation.
That's worked with PD. That's on duty personnel going and doing that.
The next
What
day.
he's talking about is just like everyone that gets pulled. We do a dinner off campus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally different.
And the guys who are
don't-
doing the barbecuing and stuff, they're off duty.
That's different.
Now, we opened it up to the fire stations who were part of it, who were involved in the
Presentation, the cutting and all
when
that.
they're the cutting,
Landing the helicopter, the whole
LZ,
thing.
somebody else, whoever was involved. PD was also welcome to attend because they're part of the whole program. The staff from the high school is part of the program. If they have a chaplain, anybody that was involved in that whole scenario are welcome to come and have dinner with us. They just need to give us the head count, how many people we're looking at, so we have an idea of what we're cooking for. But now when we cook, that's everybody off duty. Now the engine companies show up, they eat, they're on duty, but they go to calls if they need to take off, and they'll take off. They're not relying on, they're not relying on them to do the.
We're not staying and cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so which works out really good because the guys coming in, they love it. The guys that you typically help, they show up, they enjoy it. They're talking to the students. The students have questions for us, what we do. So it's a really good thing because they kind of have a little some presentations or communication with them, kind of see how we work.
Very cool. Yeah, no, that program is pretty awesome. I was part of it. Yeah, not part of like what you guys do. I was the person who got taken out.
I remember.
I died.
I remember.
Oh, you died.
Yeah, I died.
Yeah. It.
At least I wasn't.
It's
the
a
drunk
really.
driver.
Yeah.
It really is. I've gone to the following day where they actually had the whole presentation,
Funerals and
the funeral, and the whole thing. Man, it's pretty emotional. A lot of parents pretty emotional because they have to do talks. They have obituaries they have to read about their son who died, their daughter, and so they do this whole presentation. Students that they were kind of laughing the day before, you see them in the audience, they're like shocked. You can see in their face, or some of them are crying. So they do.
it's a pretty powerful
Really,
program.
yeah, it's a really good program. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always curious, like how many DUIs is that stopped? At least one.
More than one, I'm sure.
I don't drink and drive, so
Maybe even a million.
yeah, maybe even, at least one. Probably less than a billion.
They even talked about doing something with cell phone, but I don't know if they will ever do it.
I bet
Oh my
that'll be the
gosh.
new, that'll be a new thing for sure.
Well, yeah, the new, not to get super off topic, but like the new thing is like all these, maybe not millennials, but the Gen Z, is that after millennial?
The Zennials.
The Zennials?
Millennials? I don't
Yeah,
know what it is.
a lot of them aren't drinking anymore. They're kind
That's
of,
what I hear.
they're kind of like done with it. But I'm still watching. I mean, just look to your right or left at a stop sign and somebody's got their head down.
Oh, cell phones are,
Oh, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just you're driving at least 4-ton vehicle, and it's a roller coaster. If you're on a roller coaster, you usually don't have your cell phone out. Like you're like, oh, engage.
Yeah.
You were in charge of the roller coaster, and no one wants to pay attention. They want to be playing on their phone or whatever they're doing. It's crazy. I've watched quite a few accidents happen. And
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like a CHP started that, right?
Yeah.
That came from
I wouldn't say CHP.
CHP.
yeah,
Yeah.
Every-
And they actually have where they actually take the students and they take them to wherever they're going to be going to a hotel where they're staying at or whatever. They're there. The CHPs are there. Turlock PD's there. CHP has their thing where they have you look through the lens, and then you have to walk.
What it's like to be drunk.
What it looks like
Yeah.
to be drunk, intoxicated, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is which they talk a lot about is also, medications that people are using as well. As long as it's not, when you DUI, you're under influence. But what are you under influence, right? I remember one time we had a call where a student, a couple of sick kids got hit by a car, and it was a van, a lady who was driving it. Just your typical mom taking the kids to school. She had a couple kids, unintentional. She was arrested because she was under the influence.
Some type of medication she
narcotics.
was taking.
Yeah, and that was not necessarily like a culture shock to me, but it's like, wow,
It's not just alcohol.
it's not just alcohol. Yeah, it's the other stuff that's out there
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
that impairs your driving and stuff. So yeah,
They used to make you watch, what was it, Red Asphalt?
for asphalt.
I don't think they do that anymore.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they don't want to give people PTSD from that.
No, but you're right though. Yeah, they used to have that. But the random mechanics actually has been really good for at least the department. Matter of fact, we just had this competition here the other day. It was Save Mart
The grand reopening of Save Mart.
on Gear Road. And so when they did the grand opening of Gear Road, we had this competition between police and fire.
Yeah.
And so myself and the chief we were one team, and then PD had theirs. And so he had a grocery carts full of groceries, and so whoever could back them the fastest, and then you had runners that would go pick up stuff for you, and then whoever won, they give you a check. The store would give you a check, whatever organization you want to send it to. PD put theirs for Blue Santa, and then we did the random act kind of. So we got a check for $2,000 since we won. And
Yeah, I almost.
Man.
I was gonna. I had the cancel button ready. If he would have lost, we wouldn't have been doing this. So
Wow.
And
man.
then PD got $1,500 check,
Yeah.
and that went to the Blue Santa.
I mean, if Turlock PD, if somebody wants to come on and say why you lost, it sounds like Turlock Fire was just better. So, but if you guys want to come on,
But I have to tell you, it was really close. We'd like that, and then they were like, and like
yeah,
a second, yeah. But it was fun.
Yeah.
The whole intention was, it was great. It was getting everybody together. My wife came. I said, "You got to come with me. You got to come." She goes, "Oh, you go ahead and do it. I know you got to come." She enjoyed it when she was there.
Yeah.
We appreciate Save Mart what they did.
Good.
The community and stuff. They really want to try to reach out to the community as much as they can. They donated, and the money that the food that we bagged and everything went to the like a women's shelter, like a We Care type of thing at Cal State Family Floss.
oh, okay,
So all that food went there, and then also they told the runners, said, "Look, you got 5 minutes. Grab as much things you want or whatever."
Oh,
you pick
what
up.
was that show called?
I know.
Price is Right.
No,
No,
that
no,
was
no,
like
That's
the,
Right.
it was
the
the
grocery
something
cart.
shop or
Yeah,
grocery
I
shop.
know.
I'll look it up while you guys
I
talk.
was actually we were talking about that actually because we knew you guys were doing that. Where you'd like grab a bunch of groceries.
Supermarket Sweets.
Supermarket suite.
Oh yeah, that would have been so much fun.
So I found out when I was talking to the lady, she said, just to let you know, we did the same thing last week in Modesto. Modesto had the same thing, Modesto against their PD.
Uh-huh.
And I go, and Fire won theirs also.
oh wow,
Theirs is a little bit different.
trend.
Yeah, theirs is more like the grocery, that show you're talking
supermarkets,
about.
yeah,
Yeah, theirs is more like that, where they had to take off.
Yeah.
And pick up all the stuff. She said because it was a bigger store, the one in Turlock was really small, so they kind of had to modify a couple things and stuff. So they came up with this one for us to
That's
do.
cool.
So did they tell you, because in the fire service everything's a competition? Did they tell you how much food they were able to get?
Well, after they rang everything up, I think our total was like $1,600 worth of groceries. Our side, the groceries that they put together for us.
Yeah.
And then the 3 runners went out and grabbed more food, and they rang it all up, and I think it was like $1,600 that they did. That was ours. I think I think theirs was like $900 something. The gentleman that was like the general manager for the store, he was an older gentleman. He didn't work there, but you could see he oversees a lot of like a regional manager.
Yeah.
He even brought it up at
Assistant.
the end. He says, as you could tell, the group here, they know exactly the needs of the community.
Yeah.
They went out and they picked up the high expensive things, which was diapers, wipes, formulas, and things like that. And that's what they brought back, and that's why their numbers are so high compared to the other one. And the other ones also were for the same can or their We Care type of thing.
Yeah.
But they just said, hey, this group, they definitely knew what the needs that they needed for the community and stuff. So, which was really good. And then afterwards, the engine companies helped load up all their stuff in their grocery carts, and the engine, it was packed. The guys said, man, our engine was packed with all the groceries. And they drove it to the center at Cal State Stanislaus, helped them unload it.
Yeah.
And then I saw some pictures, and it's a nice setup for them.
That's pretty amazing. You and I know you and Turlock in general, all the public service organizations, they do a really good job giving back to the community. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, your community involvement there is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things.
Yeah,
And
but
Frank was a big part of that.
yeah, well, it's I don't know how long it'll go. I know the rack, we're going to try to keep us going as long as you can, but it takes a lot of people. It takes people to make it happen. And In the fire service today, you definitely, this is different. A lot of people after they work, firefighters after they work, and in general, even when listen to this in class, where we're taking classes, not just the random act of kindness thing, but even people that were putting classes out of Turlock area, they were saying the same thing. The fire service is definitely changing a lot because with the schedule, people work 2 days, work 3 days in a row. Maybe they worked overtime. Now they're 4 days. By the time they get off work, they're ready to go home. And if they have a 2-hour drive away from home, they're going to leave. They're not going to stick around to help a program to make the program go. So I think we're kind of dealing with those things as well, as far as the helping the community when your day's off. I always told our firefighters who I always had under me, I said, look, you remember that question they always ask you when you're getting what you always
Your interview panel?
Your interview panel, right? Just remember that question when you come to work, because one of the things they always ask you, so, what do you plan to do? Are you doing anything for the fire service? What do you want to do? I want to get in the fire service because I want to help the community. Why do you want to get in the fire service? Because this is what I want to do. I said, now, it's really easy to help the community when you're getting paid, because they're paying you and you work for 48, you do your schedule.
Yeah.
It's easy to go, hey, let's go pick up some groceries, go help somebody out. That's good.
Yeah.
That's part of it. But the other part of it is giving when you're not getting paid. And that's the big thing. Because now it's like, okay, I really want to help the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I have to, hey, let's go get a couple guys, let's go get a washer and dryer at Lowe's, because what they had just completely was destroyed. And we'll get them a washer and dryer. And those are the kind of things that we do. Hey, look, public-wise, we don't buy everybody washer and dryers. It has to be a certain situation that we will buy a washer and dryer. If we see something that's not safe, and they have family, they have kids, they're washing their clothes, it's unsafe, this is not right.
Yeah.
They should not. Something's going to happen while we're gone, and we can't let that happen. And so we kind of play all that in play and stuff. So,
yeah.
How about this? Pink T-shirts.
Yeah. By all means.
Right?
Yeah.
So we started our pink T-shirt drive for this. We actually had people ask, he goes, so why'd you do pink T-shirts? Because you had a firefighter that had cancer, and then we also had one of the girls that worked in our office also had cancer. And I go, no, I don't think we started talking about this before they even had cancer. The gentleman that who passed away is Keith Crabtree. He was an engineer with us. But we did that before, we started this before him. But it definitely made an impact on us, that how much, when we talk cancer awareness, we're always thinking about, breast cancer, the month of October, right?
Yeah.
But really, it's our whole mission as firefighters, when we're doing a pink T-shirt drive, is just to be aware. If you wear a pink T-shirt, you wear it, just be aware how important it is to go visit your doctor, do your annual exams, right? That type of thing. It was more that than anything else. And also to do a drive and raise money for the community, right? And so since then, since we've been doing the drive, we would sell T-shirts to the community, and the money that we've made, it goes back to our local cancer center, which is right here off of Tuolumne. And then they have their own endowment that they have. And then we put the money towards the endowment and stuff. And then they use that towards either programs that they have, or if they want to help young kids whose parents are going through cancer, and they could help them deal with certain issues or concerns, and they need to buy them certain things, the money could be used for that. Yeah. Also, there's certain exams that they're doing annually that insurance weren't covering it. And so part of that money would be used to help. I mean, we couldn't help everyone, but at least we knew the money that we would raise would go to our tool.
Yeah, of course.
So is that another program that you headed up with?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we started that probably around, I would say like 12 years ago. We raised close to almost $200,000 for the program and stuff. It's like chunks, right? 1 year you'll raise, our whole goal was to raise $2,000, right?
Yeah.
And at the end, that year we raised like $16,000. But you have to understand, when you're like making a donation of $16,000, the random act kindness funded the shirts. So we had to buy the shirts. So we took a gamble that we're going to make our money back, right? Because we go, hope this goes well.
Yeah.
So, but we don't want to buy too many because if it doesn't go well, then we got all these shirts and the money that we raised for the communities, it went under, it was a loss.
Yeah.
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 So we started slow and then it was like, oh my God, we ran out of shirts. So
Yeah.
we called Greg Crevelli. Crevelli's downtown. Hey, Greg, can you order some more shirts? I'll get you some more shirts.
Yeah.
Greg, can you get us some more shirts? We ran out of shirts. And so it just seemed like that year we just bought shirts after shirts.
Yeah.
At the end, we had a pretty good donation that we made it.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so every year we've done that. The only time we didn't do it is the COVID years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't do the COVID. We didn't do the boot drive, all those things, just like everybody
Strange
else.
year, yeah.
Just like everybody else who was also doing fundraisers for their groups, Dancing for the Stars, and everybody that was doing these things. Everything stopped because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
And so we were in the same boat. We had money in the account, but just enough to cover our expenses that we needed because we had to file our taxes every year, 513C, and it's not cheap.
Yeah. So do you guys just go with Crivelli's? Is that like
Crevelli's, yeah.
did they kind of at least hook up the t-shirt price, maybe their cost or anything?
They gave us a really good price.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just working towards a shout out towards them because like it's really nice
Oh,
when
no,
people are like
business.
when businesses are helping out and like they can't take a loss either. I mean,
Yeah.
they're a business, but
No. We have like, and Greg he's great as far as like Crevelli's and stuff. So I strongly feel, which most of our guys do, we have to, whatever vendor we use, 99.9% we got to figure out if we could use them in Turlock.
Local.
Yeah,
Our local vendors. Sometimes you just couldn't. You just like, what we need, they don't have it here.
Yeah.
So we had to go to Modesto to do it. But like Greg had a business here in town. We got to know Greg very well.
still open. I don't know.
Crevelli's is open.
I used to go when I was in high school and stuff. But
Yeah. Matter of fact, I just talked to him yesterday. Their main store on right down on Main
Main.
Street, they're shutting it down completely. So everything's gonna be going online.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, online. But they still got their place off of Kilroy, their warehouse where they do all their T-shirts printing. You can still go down there and buy shirts. You go buy jackets because they do a lot of stuff for schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the jerseys, the jackets they do for sports.
Yeah,
all that's done still out there. So I said, you think that's going to hurt you as far as being out there? And people go down. He goes, no, it has not slowed us down. We got a lot of people coming out here
Nice.
with stuff. So I think it's going to be a
Yeah, they're very well established. So
Oh, yeah.
And I told him that. I says, you guys are, people know who you are.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, and you know what kind of business you're going to get. So we've always used Greg, and he's been very, very supportive. And he basically gave us shirts at cost. And so then we sell the shirts, whatever. At that time, it was $15. We're getting a shirt maybe $5 a shirt. We're
Yeah.
selling for $15. We make a profit of $10. It didn't come to the union. Everything we made went to the cancer center.
Yep.
yeah.
So, and then we raised it to 20 because COVID. Everything started going up.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything's super.
Greg goes, Frank, you're going to have to raise your price. I said, 15 is pretty reasonable. He goes, yeah, but shirts are
Just
just
the
That's
way
how
it's
everything
going.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's more expensive now. You can't get anything for $15.
I know.
So
So one of my favorite things that we do is the Santa truck. Tell me some
Oh,
stuff
the
about that. Yeah, that's
I did.
people love the Santa truck.
Yeah, I did that with Lou one year where I was his direction person. And
navigator.
I brought like a highlighter and I was highlighting. Because like he made it known that like, no, we need to go by every single house. So if we have to double back, we have to double back. And
Yeah.
I was very adamant that I was highlighting and had my Google Maps out. My wife came and I was like, don't talk to me. I'm focused. We got to make sure
You're
we
locked
hit this
in.
route. I was locked in. We nailed it that time. You only had to do one 3-point turn.
And yeah, that's true. We did go down a court.
Yeah, I
Frank's
did
like, don't go down courts. I'm like, I can make that turn.
one time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I started, like I said, I started in 91. They were already doing it, the standard truck and stuff. So it actually, before I even started work from Turlock, I was living on Hartwick off of Olive. I lived in that area, and I remember our daughter was very small at the time, and there goes the Santa truck ride. I heard it coming. I wasn't working for Turlock, I was working for him, but I got, this is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
That is so nice. I gotta work at a department like that. Come here. I need to go work for Turlock so I could ride that Santa truck. But it actually came. I want to take a guess. It was late 80s, like probably like 85, 86 that they brought it. My understanding, it was Mark Langley, the chief,
Okay.
one of our chiefs many years ago. His dad worked for a department down by Sacramento area. It was a small district. They did it back. They did it there. He thought it was a cool idea, so he brought it here, and it stayed ever since then.
Yeah.
We've used different engines since then. We used to use a snorkel. We used a snorkel back then. The snorkel was 75-foot aerial. I hated that thing because you rotate it. You go up in the air and it has a little dead man switch. You control it, and you rotate it, lift. But when you rotate it, it just kind of shakes a lot. It wasn't like your typical ladder trucks that we have today, right? That thing shakes so much. And I remember being up there and it'd like rattle, crack, and sometimes it shake you when you're up there.
It's just
You're in
terrifying.
a basket. Oh, I hated it. But that's what we had, right? So they've used that at one time. Right now we use an international engine, 1955. That we use, and we've used a Van Pelt back then. It's just things that the Van Pelt we had to get rid of. The city wanted to get rid of it. The international engine we have now today belongs to the Incorporated. The Incorporated was established many years ago, way before I started. It was a transition between a volunteer department to a paid department. Chief at the time, he was getting a lot of heat from the volunteers because they felt like they're getting pushed out because the department was making that transition. So he goes, we want to belong to the union. And the union says, no, it's only for paid personnel. And they were upset. So he goes, hey, why don't we come with this incorporated? That way, both of you guys belong. You guys both put money to this funds into the account with $15 a month. And the money will go and you guys could use it for whatever you guys need. If you guys want to use it for dinners, meetings, that's up to you guys. But it's incorporated to both groups. And that's how it was established many, many years ago.
Yeah.
And so they started the Incorporated. And so the Incorporated used to take care of the Santa truck. They maintained it. The city didn't want that engine, so they sold it to the Incorporated for I think it was like $1. It wasn't worth a lot. You couldn't even sell those things. I mean, people, you try to sell it and they give you $3,000 for it, right? That's pretty much. So we were very appreciative the city was able to sell that engine to us. Of course, you had to go through all the whole DMV thing and all the stuff to make it happen.
Yeah, and you got to be able to drive it on the road.
You be able to drive it on the road. So we maintain it. The Incorporated maintains it. Any repairs? Well, right now we don't have volunteers anymore. So we still have the Incorporated. It's still established. We didn't disband it. But the money that's the guys put $15 a month still. It's all it's your choice if you want to belong. You don't have to belong to Incorporated, but we have more guys signed up to Incorporated because we want them to join and to be part of the community, and to also they know the money can be used for the Santa Truck program, which is the biggest one of the biggest programs we've at least the fire side of it, that people appreciate it every year.
Do you ever? And I don't recommend it. It's like reading the comments. Do you ever check out like the Ring app? You guys get blown up on the Ring app because like you have rain days, so you guys will miss. You'll miss the route, and you'll try to reschedule it. And some winters there's a lot more rain. I'm not involved in this, so I'm sorry I'm speaking out of turn. But I read those things, and I mean, for such a great cause, and you guys are doing your best and getting staffing and all this stuff. Some of those people are like, they want to curse you guys to death because you didn't make it by their neighborhood. And you can't respond in this.
Bro, you
crack me up. Crazy.
You love to read the comments on things.
No, here's the thing is my wife loves to read the comments, and then she has to share it with me. And she's just like, look at these people. They're freaking out. Oh my God, you guys catch so much hate for missing a route. And they're like, you guys should be out there in rainstorms. Like Santa doesn't care if it rains on Christmas Eve. You guys should be out there. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we definitely get those phone calls.
I'm sure. Yeah.
You know what? We really, I know they probably don't believe, but we really try to make it work.
Oh, I know.
We really try to, if we miss a street, and then we're informed, we really try to make those arrangements to make sure if we miss an area. We had a firefighter who had an area, and I always sit down with the drivers and stuff before they take it out. And I always stop by the stations and try to meet up with them, or I would call them, or if they're on duty, I'll call them up at their station. I say, hey, look, you're taking a Santa truck out tomorrow. Hey, it's important. And I give them these guidelines. I said,
for sure,
to slow down, And I'm telling you, even myself, I know how it's important to drive and go slow in neighborhoods. He drove it 1 year. Lou drove 1 year for me. Him and his fiance. Did you know?
I have to edit all
One day.
This guy, I swear.
Hold on. You can edit that out.
You don't care.
Look at
She knows.
Frank.
Anyway, so they were. She was his guide. She
Yeah,
guided him
yeah,
where
yeah.
to go, and he
Not as
drove.
good as
He was
Santa.
And I
Santa.
played Santa.
Yeah, he was Santa.
And so
No, definitely not.
I play Santa, right? And so I told him, I said, hey, take your time, go slow, and if we have to, we'll backtrack. And he goes, okay, no problem. And we did. The next day we got phone calls, we're driving too fast. And I told him, I said, we got
Creep. I mean, you know how we're
I drove-
You can't really drive very fast.
I can't go slower than I'm going. It's gonna
Yes.
stall.
And I drove in neighborhoods, and I ring that siren, and then ring that bell, ding, ding,
Yep.
ding.
Yeah.
And then people know we're coming. We go slow.
Yeah.
And the next day I get a phone call.
There's still people
You
that
guys do your best. I mean, I don't work for the organization, so I'm speaking out of turn, and this is not a reflection of the city because it's just me. But I think you guys do an awesome job. I mean, just give me the opportunity to be a part of it and be the navigator, which was a horrible decision. But we nailed it. Like I even was on him. I'm like, dude, we got to turn back around because I missed this little tiny section.
Yeah.
We went all around it, and I have to go. I don't even know if there's anybody on that street. And I don't think there was, but I'm like, no.
and Frank does a really good job of like, hey man, it rained. Like here we're splitting this route that was supposed to be today 3 ways. So can you just cover this part that touches your route for the day?
Yeah.
Just hit that first. Just go by there and just hit it, knock it out.
The latest we go is 23rd because you don't want to be gone
Christmas Eve and Christmas, yeah.
The 23rd, that's the latest we'll go. And if it's raining 23rd, then we tried our best.
Yeah.
Right? Because the thing is, it's not that, if it's sprinkling stuff, the only thing is none of our system is waterproof. The sprinklers are not waterproof. The amp's not waterproof.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
everything-
I know.
And also the people riding don't want to get
Yeah,
wet.
yeah. And it's cold. I'm telling you, and you have little kids. And people ask all the time, how do we get on there? And we really try to just limit to the firefighters and their family and friends. That's it. Because it's a big responsibility.
Otherwise we'd have
Yeah.
30,000 people trying to get
It's-
on.
It's a big responsibility of having strangers, and if something was to happen, somebody falls, gets hurt,
Yeah.
breaks a leg, just something like that
Yeah.
happens. We take the liability on something like that. So we really, really, and it's really sad. That's the way it is. It's just the way
Society is nowadays.
society is.
Yeah.
You got to be able to take care. So even if we take off, we're having talks with crew. Say, look, the adults at the end, kids are inside. Watch out for your kids.
Here's
Don't
the
let the kids
rules.
cross the street. We used to hand out candy. We stopped handing out candy during COVID, but we never got back to handing out candy. But we also felt like, what? It's really a safety issue as well because kids are.
Oh yeah, we
Remember the kids riding?
They were riding their bikes and stuff like that, and they were just like swooping in front of Lou while he was driving. It was crazy. I'm like, where are these kids' parents?
Yeah.
Just like through all the neighborhood. They just follow us. And it's such a fun and cool program though. Like
It is.
driving and riding.
Music,
Like
it's the best time.
music's going.
Oh no, I
siren.
loved it. And like, yeah, because you guys have still have like a little iPod Mini, and that you guys have hooked up an aux cord. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. We
Christmas.
try to update music every once in a while. Like
Okay, don't let him lie to you. We don't update it.
No,
Frank
Casey-
only listens to Christmas music all year. He's got his 8 songs that he loves.
Were you best friends with my dad? That's all.
That's
I know.
all they listen to.
Him and I talked about that.
Yeah.
I go, I heard you're just like me. I go, well, he goes, we both like Christmas music. And he goes, oh man, I love Christmas music all the time. I said, why?
He bought this speaker, and he was sitting in the office, and he'll just put a speaker up, and he sets his Christmas music going. He's just writing his reports and Christmas music in like August.
July.
Yeah, July. It's 95 outside. And it's
Loves the
Christmas
Hallmark
music.
Channel, Christmas in July.
So we have a pool. And so we'll, in the backyard, we'll be swimming. And I have, my selection of music.
Yeah.
And people will be over with some friends and stuff. And I got my Bose little speakers going
Yeah.
because it's all Wi-Fi. And then we're like in the pool swimming. All of a sudden, randomly, we listen from rap
Christmas music.
to country to Christmas music. And they go, where's that music coming from? I go, I love Christmas.
It's his favorite.
And
Yeah, it's a vibe for sure. Yeah, you're not really usually sad when you're listening to Christmas music.
oh, no. And I go, look, guys, it just went from 100 degrees outside to like 50 degrees.
Snowing all of a
Baby,
sudden.
it's cold outside.
And that's what I love. I
It
enjoy
does.
My wife goes, are we, like, she'll be somewhere running errands. I come inside the house, I'm cooking dinner, and I'll just, put my little speaker on. And then randomly, same thing. She goes, are we going to be listening to Christmas music again?
See, everyone knows.
She goes, I love it, but not right now. I said, okay, I'll change it.
Yeah, you got to put some spooky stuff on right now.
You both, you and Lucy both are retired now.
We both retired.
How's that going?
We both love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys traveling? What do you guys do?
Well, we take small trips.
Sure.
We're not like really take off trips for like 3 years and 3 weeks and
You didn't buy the motorhome yet?
we no motorhome yet. Yeah. We like to take small trips. We'll drive somewhere. We're there within 2-3 hours, and we stay there for 2-3 days, and then come back home. We really like home. You know, we really enjoy being home, but we also like taking our trips. But we like taking short trips here and there. That's our thing. And we're planning. We really want to go to Boston because her cousins live in Boston, and she really wants to go.
Do a little road trip. Not from here. I mean, fly over there, rent a car.
Sorry,
Damn, no.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
But go Boston
Drive
and then just drive all, do a little East Coast.
Yes. Yeah. And so we just need to just sit down and just pencil it all out.
Yeah.
And stuff to
Have you been to like New York onto the okay, so like that would be pretty cool. Spend a couple days in Boston, then drive and go into New York. Allie and I did that 2 years ago now. It's like 2 years ago to the date. It was pretty awesome to go
Was
see
it?
all that. Yeah. And then the little
driving was pretty easy.
no. We flew to New York and did the whole thing.
No, but when you're there, when you start renting a car,
We walked.
Oh, you walked.
In the city, yeah, you don't need to.
Okay,
We
yes,
walked
yes,
and
yes.
we took it was we took the subway.
Transit and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the subway is awesome. And you go everywhere.
Boston's the same way. We did Boston last year. And
And you buy like a little a ticket for like if you're gonna be there for a week. So we bought a week-long ticket, so it was unlimited subway rides.
yeah.
And so we didn't need to have a car. But if you were doing an East Coast road trip, maybe,
Yeah.
or just drive there and then return the car and then do all the
Yeah.
in-city stuff for if you're gonna stay there for a week, because you don't need a car when you're there.
No.
That's what I hear.
Yeah,
And then
the
when
cities
you
don't
go to leave, then you'd rent a car again. That's probably how I would do it. I wouldn't
Okay.
I wouldn't want to drive a car in there, especially now. I think they're doing like some you have to pay with tolls in New York now. I wouldn't do it.
We're used to that. It's the Bay Area, same thing.
Like I'm going to the Bay Area.
Oh, really? You know, when we were in Portugal, it was they charge you for using their freeways. So as you drive, bing,
Oh, really?
charge you, yeah. And at the end, you get charged on a credit card.
Get a bill or whatever.
But I'm telling you, the roads are
Yeah.
super nice.
Really?
Fort Bragg was like that too. When I went to Fort Bragg last year, I had to buy like a toll thing because like we were barely even on the freeway, but the freeways are all next to us. We're all tolls.
Yeah.
The freeways are really nice.
They're very nice, huh?
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm comparing it to Highway 99.
I'm not saying Gavin Newsom raised the taxes on us because we've already have a tax already. So.
Jeez.
But we definitely need better roads here.
Are
A little bit.
your kids local too?
Yeah. They're both. One lives in Atwater and one lives in Turlock and stuff. So
And your daughter's teaching?
she teaches. Yeah.
Right. Was she with Lucy for a couple years?
They taught together for a year.
Okay.
And so they do the immersion program. So my wife did the Portuguese side of it. My daughter did the English side of it. And so they did.
A year
Her
together.
students would come to her class, and then they would do certain things because they shared a walkway. There's like a room. And it's her classroom. So they worked together for a year.
That's cool.
And she worked at the school, but I think she was at that time 3rd grade, and then she went from 3rd grade to K.
Okay.
And so when my wife, ever since she taught almost 30 years, it was always K and stuff. So, and that was her passion.
Yeah.
K. Yeah. It
That's
was
cool.
just- yeah. And it was really neat because, you're getting kids that are never been exposed to school. Some of them.
Yeah. First.
Yeah. So you're getting some of those kids. So, and she really enjoyed that.
Good.
Yeah. And so, matter of fact, our daughter, after my wife retired, she moved her classroom to her classroom
Oh, very cool.
and stuff. So, and so my wife would go every year, And so, matter of fact, she's going to be going there today
Oh, that's cool.
and help her.
Yeah.
after. So she does a lot of stuff for her. I think there's a lot of jealousy in the other teachers because, well, she does a lot of testing for her, students and stuff like that, that they just like a volunteer could help out on. So, but my wife loves it. She enjoys it. She loves the kids.
Yeah.
But she also knows that she was ready to retire.
Yeah.
She knew that, we're getting up to the age and it's time to retire. If I would have been stick around, I'd probably retire. My brother makes fun of me because he goes, "You're going to be like 80 years old, still be on the engine." That's what he told me.
Yeah.
And I said, "No,
We were all hoping.
I'll go eventually." Yeah.
Yeah. So when did,
Our son's an accountant.
Okay.
He does accounting. Yeah.
when you decided you were going to retire, what was the reasoning that you were like, hey, I have the opportunity to retire, so I'm just going to do it? Or was there like a driving force that was like,
Well, age. Age had a lot to do with it.
but you
it's time.
just promote to
40
PC.
years. Most people say 40 years. You crazy? I thought you guys retired at 30 years of service. You know what? I started at 21. I could have retired at 51, and I ended up going at 62.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you look at that, that's a lot of extra years. But I wasn't ready for it. Everybody has their own passion. Everybody has their own. When I'm ready to retire, my wife wasn't ready. She wasn't going to retire yet.
Yeah.
She was going to go until she hit 60, 61. And so she was going to work another 10 years and stuff. So, and what am I going to do for the next, from 51 to 61? Not that,
Drive her crazy.
well, if you cook a lot more food, make sure the clothes are picked up. I would probably have done something. I'm always busy.
Yeah.
I would do stuff, I like to work with my hands and things like that, building things, help people out, help my kids. They had houses. I would help, with them. I have a buddy of mine that I'll help him out. Or even a couple of guys at work, they need some help, I would help them out. So, I would keep myself busy. I wouldn't be sitting. There's no way I'm sitting at home just sitting down.
Yeah.
I keep myself busy. Matter of fact, right now I'm painting all my cabinets in my garage, and so it's something I should have done many years ago, but
Now you got the time.
now I got the time. And it actually works out really good because I'm out of the house. My wife gets to do her stuff. And
Yeah.
It's just a balance between each other. And I really believe that's a lot of it is a balance between your spouse because now you're home together all the time. It definitely is a balance.
So you did 40 years total in the fire service. So what advice that you could give yourself or somebody else coming up to let them
survive.
how would they survive 40 years in the fire service? Because Timko said something, I believe it was Timko. Yeah. He said something interesting. He said, we're all playing injured. Like, we all have some kind of injuries and, we're all battling something, whether it's sleep deprivation, torn meniscus, or like herniated disc, something like that.
Oh, sure.
We're all playing injured. So
And he had a really bad injury too.
Oh, yeah. No,
We know his injury.
his gets released next week. So yours is going to be a couple of weeks behind that.
Yeah.
But what is your advice to people coming up in the fire service? We're very young, like even our department is very young. So
Well, try to keep yourself fit is one thing.
Sure.
Yeah. You definitely need your rest. Your body doesn't have. You need to take advantage of when you're off, your days off. Try to catch up on some of your rest and stuff. So when you're ready to go back to work, you're ready to go back to work. Take advantage of when you're on vacation, holidays, enjoy that time off. Injury wise, I hate to say this, but a lot of those injuries do come from work, right? But some of them are physical fitness workouts, working out, lifting weights, things like that. I think you could overdo it. I think more than anything else is just working out that you able to keep your body toned, your respiratory type of thing, working out, walking, running, just to keep yourself fit. I know guys that I've known that there's a guy that used to live next to me. He worked for Cal Fire. When the season was started, he was like already prepping. He was running because he knew the season. Christmas comes around, the winter, you hardly used to see him run, but you could see him already like in February, March,
Ramping it up.
He's getting ready for the season because it's going to be a long season type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So you got to keep yourself fit and as much as you can. Eat. I'm terrible in eating. I
don't look like it, so
I enjoy eating.
His metabolism's ridiculous. All the sweets and this unreal what he ate at work.
But I don't eat
Sorry,
like that.
Lucy, if you're listening.
Yeah. I enjoy my sugar.
Oh.
And then maybe it's going to catch up to me one day, and I hope it doesn't. But I definitely...
One day. I mean, yeah, you're
No,
you can do whatever you want
no.
now.
You never know what you're going to get. They always say, oh, sugar is bad for you. And it is,
So what did you
But
personally do to keep in shape?
What's that?
What did you personally do to keep in shape?
When I worked at the restaurant, that's where I gained a lot of weight.
Okay.
And so I knew after I gained all that weight, I went from weighing like 175 to like 215 pounds in like 4 months.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I could drink every chocolate milk that they had.
Oh my God.
All the burgers. 'Cause it was a restaurant. It was like a Denny's called Sambo's out of Merced at the mall. And I ate everything there. You can eat as much as you want. I worked graveyard. It was myself and one other person. So I was eating everything. Seriously. Candy. And then
So
finally
nothing ever changed is what you're saying.
No. So then I finally said, I can't continue doing this. I got to change.
Yeah.
I got to go out and start doing something. So I started, I started cutting back on things I was eating. I didn't eat fast foods. I started eating making better healthy decisions. I started running, and I ran quite a bit. And so I started losing my weight. I started losing, when I met my wife, I was 200 pounds at that time. When I went down to like 168, she goes, okay, that's enough. You're
Getting too skinny.
I like you when you're at 200 pounds.
A little fluff is nice.
No, you're going too far.
Yeah.
And I go, no, I feel good. And then I kept my weight like around 174, 175, 170 for many, many years. If I knew it was I just kind of knew what to eat,
Yeah.
And I'm okay fasting. A lot of people can't fast. I'm okay fasting. I eat in the morning. And if I skip lunch, I'm okay with it. I don't like, oh my gosh, there would be certain guys at work. Oh my gosh, if it was lunchtime,
Yeah.
my gosh. It's okay though.
Big hangry
But-
vibes over here.
I have loud food noise. So like,
Okay.
my body lets me know, be like, hey, you haven't eaten for 4 hours. If you don't eat, I'm going to murder you. So
Well, but also as a captain on the engine, you take care of your crew.
Yeah.
And I couldn't expect that from them. I couldn't expect them to fast or
Yeah.
skip a meal. If you guys are typically hungry, let's go get something to eat. Let's go. And if I ate a little bit, I'm okay with that. They would have their meal, whatever they ate. But I definitely enjoyed my dinner and stuff at night. But I also knew that it wasn't good to eat late at night. So if I would eat something lighter, and if we skipped our meals, and it would be like 10 o'clock coming back from a call, I wouldn't sit down and eat like a burger, French fries, and or
Nice.
steak, potatoes. It's just too much to eat.
Cut a
at that
donut in half and eat it.
Could have done it. I would eat something small, because I knew it wasn't good for me to eat that late at night and then get sick. Go to a call, they get sick to your stomach. You just kind of know
Yeah.
what's good for you. And then when my days off, I never would eat the stuff that I would eat.
yeah,
If I did eat like that at home, I would be terrible. I mean,
these guys are a terrible influence.
I
when,
It was definitely.
I would eat like a little bit of piece of cake my wife made or something like that, or a cookie. But I wouldn't eat like 5 cookies and eat like a big cake. I just would a little. She goes, "How do you do that?" I would eat like the whole thing. And I go, "I'm okay eating just a little piece." Just like what he said at work, I'd eat a quarter of a donut, eat it, and then that's it.
so your fitness was obviously watching what you ate, and then you're a big runner.
I don't run anymore.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about when you
Back
were.
then, yes. And then now I walk a lot. So I walk like an hour. I try to do, I go, typically I try to do a really brisk walk now. And I typically run almost like 4 miles, walk like 4 miles. And so
Yeah.
it takes me like almost an hour to do that.
Oh yeah, you're walking fast.
Yeah, I try to walk fast and
Yeah.
just more, and I try to look at my cardio just to see where I'm at.
Yeah.
And stuff. And more than anything else, it just makes you feel good. And that's it. It just makes you feel good. I hate to say this, but you can put a shirt on if it's good. You put a pair of pants. I'm not having to like,
Yeah.
suck it in. But
It's good to keep your body moving.
yeah, it's good. And they tell you that all the time. Everybody that's retired, keep moving,
Yeah.
keep moving. Because if you stop moving, it's going to.
That's where it all goes.
And we
downhill.
we see it. In the fire service, as the three of us here, you see those patients and you feel so bad for them. And a lot of it was just if they would have just kind of maintained some type of movement.
Yeah,
Just kind of cut back a little bit. I mean, I don't want to criticize anybody's eating, the way they walk, and the way they take care of themselves. That's up to them. But when we see it day in after day, it's like the same patient stuff. you start feeling bad. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's a tough. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to get that.
No, we put it together. I mean, I'm not trying to judge a single person's outcome of their life, but when you look at the mass majority of the calls we're going to, you're like, okay, you haven't been moving for a while. Like, whatever the reason might be, it seems like no movement equals very bad.
Yes.
So I completely agree with you. So
yeah, and this is important to do that. I'm very fortunate. Genetics is another thing. I'm very fortunate. My dad died at 97 years old, and I hope I take after his steps, or all my siblings. But my dad was a very healthy man. I mean, he wasn't a runner. He didn't do any of that stuff, but he lived to be 97.
Active.
very active.
And no meds.
Yeah.
None. So when we go to houses, right?
And you got that whole table full of meds, and it's like, this is.
And so very fortunate for him. We saw it, his life, and that he lived a good life. And at the end, we had to put him on a few things just to kind of ease him because the anxiety was kicking in because he was at his age where he was on hospice already at the end.
Yeah.
But he lived a very good life. My mom wasn't as fortunate. She died at 59. She had a brain tumor. And so she died at a very young age. I'm over 59. So when I look at it, I go, wow, what a young lady my mom died.
I'm sure.
When you're 20 or 18, 17, and this all happened, you're like, oh my God, my mom's old.
Yeah.
Older, right? But now I'm already past her.
Is that how it feels? Because I have reflected a couple times thinking, because I'm 35 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll be lucky if I make it to 70. I think I'm past my half-life
I'm
already.
past my prime for sure.
Yeah, so I get nervous because I haven't really thought about death and stuff, for a long time. But
Neither is he.
neither of you.
Oh no.
You look like you're you look like you're like 45. So I'm surprised.
So I'm just very fortunate to genetics. Now, my mom has her side of the family has her stuff. My dad, their side of the family hardly had anything. So we just don't know where you're going to get in life.
Yeah.
But you try to, as definitely what you just said, that as you become older, you definitely start thinking about those things like, I need to keep myself busy doing things and stuff.
It looks like you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So that's pretty awesome.
You got any funny stories about the guys before we let you
I
go?
told you one the other day.
Well, everybody else wants to hear it. You didn't tell me anything.
No, I worked with some amazing guys. I really did. I'm very fortunate. I had. I'll just mention his name. One of them was my lieutenant when I worked for Firefighter. His name was Will Watson. Just an amazing man. He was kind of like more my father figure growing up. I mean, I had my dad, but when you're in the fire service, you look up to someone as a person.
Senior guy.
He was just the right guy. Right. He was a right guy for me. He was very compassionate, easy to get along with. We're going to get you to this and that type of thing. Right. Mm-hmm. So, but he passed away here not that long ago. They laugh. They make fun of me.
I wasn't gonna say it.
They make fun of me because round table discussions we had at the table. We're always talking. I always still say something at the end. It's like, yeah, he passed away.
It always finishes with death every
Someone
time.
passed away. But he was a great individual. He was, and I always remember him as this one. I've had great leaders though in my career, but he was the first one.
Yeah.
That I always just like I've always been told by Chief Loman many times. He goes, you always remember that one chief that hired you, that gave you the opportunity. And I will never forget Bob Carlson for giving me the opportunity, right? Even though he didn't hire me the first time. But I definitely will always remember him as very thankful that he gave me an opportunity. Yeah. And Homer Richards, he grew up in Turlock. Of course, he passed away many years ago. Really rough man. He liked to scream in your face, that type. But he had a great heart.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that sounds
Old
strange.
school style.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah.
But deep in heart, he was an amazing man to talk to. Very compassionate. When you sit down one-on-one and you start talking to him, you knew he had a good heart. But yeah. I remember one time. I'll get back to the.
You're good.
I remember going to a call one time when we were going to a call, and the battery. Back then you had the batteries on the side, you had the cover, and they were held on by a clip. Well, I was going to a call for some reason that fell off. Okay. Well, he saw it when it fell off. Well, no damage to it. He got back, and he gave me a ring at station 2, which is point 2. He just let me have it. Well, apparently he didn't like my smile I had on my face when he was getting. I didn't think I had a smile. I was just listening.
Just been nervous.
But apparently, he went to the station 21 or station 1, and he told Will Watson. And Will called me up, and he goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I heard what happened." He goes, "But he wanted me to pass on something to you." I go, "What?" He says, "Next time, if he ever gives you chewing, he does not want to have that smirk on your face." And I go, "Honestly, I don't remember having a smirk. I was just listening to him." He says, "I get it. I know how you are. I know how you look. I know you don't mean nothing by it, but just maybe have a frown on your face next time."
Yeah.
Like that. And I go, "Okay, I'll put a little frown on my face." But I always remember that. But it taught me a lesson, though.
Yeah.
It definitely taught me a lesson. Hey,
Sure.
make sure everything's strapped. My helmet's strapped. My turnouts are strapped. Go on call, double check everything.
Don't
You know,
make that
you
mistake
just learn.
twice. Yeah.
And it was actually a good chewing. It was, look at that. It's like, it was an eye opener for me, to how important it is to take care of your equipment and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
What was your question? Well, yeah.
If you had any funny stories about the guys,
Oh, so I worked with a guy, Ed Osborne. He worked for Modesto. We worked together. Super guy I worked with. He went to work to Modesto. I worked for Turlock. And him and I were on a call right behind station 22 or station 2.
Mm-hmm.
Came in as I don't even remember. It was like non-breathing or difficulty breathing. I don't even remember what it was. But I remember as we walk in, she's laying on the bed. And so she was propped up with a pillow, and she's laying there, and I'm thinking, well, none of us really had like EMT training, none of that stuff, right? And so we go, hey, I don't think she's breathing, or they start breathing for her. So we lay her on the ground and picked her up, and she had this firmness, and she still was pivoted up. So we started doing CPR on her. Well, she was already rigged, right? And so we're doing CPR, and the medic's walking, and he goes, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" I go, "Well, we're doing CPR." He goes, she's rigged.
she's long gone.
She passed away a long time ago. And I go, "Oh." And so him and I always talked about that. I go, "Oh my gosh, did we not know what we
She's
this
so
many years
stiff,
ago,
too.
right?" It's like, oh my gosh, here she is. We're doing CPR on this lady, and she was rigged already. She was already curved up from her pillow laying in bed. And so it was sad, but we thought we were
You gotta
doing the
look
right
back
thing.
and laugh at stuff.
Yeah, we thought we were doing the right thing. It wasn't the right thing. We tried our best. What we knew.
You're not the only one. I mean, I've been on a call more recent than that in the last 10 years where I show up and I'm like the second in on a CPR call, and the moment I touch the patient, I'm like, "Was she this cold when you guys started?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you're not like the only one. I think I was
You're not the only one to do that.
I think I was volunteering at the time. I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, we need to stop immediately. This is not going to go well for us."
You just remember those, but those are like experiences you'll remember. Go, okay, I remember that one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You learn from them too.
Definitely learn.
And there's stories that you pass on to other people, and then they learn without having to do that mistake.
Yeah,
for sure.
If anything, I have to say at the end is that I was just so blessed, really blessed to have an opportunity to work in the fire service. Blessed that I was given the opportunity to work for an organization or I'm not gonna say a group of people, but this very compassionate people that we work with every day, people that care for the community, people that you don't know what you're going to run into every day, and you come to work. And that's been one of the things that I just loved about my job. Mm-hmm. Same thing, I think PD in the public sector side of it or the public safety side of it, you just don't know what you're going to run into that day, right? It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, right? It could be a tragedy for yourself or your family. It could be something that you may run into a family member or a friend that deceased, right? You just don't know. But the opportunity to be able to help the community every day when you come to work, it was just a blessing. It really was. You get to know so many people. My son goes, how do you guys know so many people? He goes, every time I go somewhere, I don't really know a lot of people. And my wife goes, look, we both were in jobs that, we go to Target or we go to Walmart or we go to Costco. My wife's talking to 20 people, right? Or I run into people that I used to work with, or run into patients I ran into, or calls that you go to, and you just start talking. But we both don't hesitate to talk. We enjoy talking to people.
Yeah.
And if you get the feeling when people talk to you, if they don't want to talk to you, like, yeah, okay, I'll back off because they don't want to talk. But if they're willing to talk, I don't mind talking to people. I love talking to people and stuff. And that's what the fire service was all about, helping people. And always checking on people. I always felt like, not every call, because you can't, but I always felt like it was important to at least follow back on a patient that you just had it. For some reason, it just something that just triggered in your heart that it was important to go back. And you go back, meet with them, everything's working okay, they're happy, and that's the whole thing about being in the fire service and stuff. And you go to call, that day you have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing spectacular.
Yep.
Right. Next day you go to work, wake up in the morning, it's a whole different day.
Yep.
So it's just amazing.
Yeah. I remember you when I was an explorer, and then also like got a couple ride-alongs, and you were always just pleasant to be around. And I'm glad we got to sit down today and like talk, because now I know all about you. So, and so does everybody else that's listening. But it was really awesome to have you on. Is there any shout outs of like people you'd like to see on and like be able to tell their story that you could think of off the top of your head?
Let me see, at the top of my head. That's kind of a.
If you got nothing, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna edit out the long pause if you.
Sure.
It's all good.
We're working on Reeves, working on Jeff, trying to get those guys
I
on.
thought we gave up on Jeff.
Yeah, I'm not working on Jeff. When Jeff's ready, he'll come to me. So, yeah.
No. Well, I'm trying to think. I know we talked about him. It's Andrew Quimby.
Yeah, Quimby.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really good.
I think that'd be a great
all
one,
of them would be a great asset. We lost in a very short period of time. Like we lost like 15, 16 firefighters.
A lot of years of service.
A lot of years of service. They all went to different departments and stuff. Every one of those guys would be a great.
Yeah. Quimby was the first. Basically, I guess he was an engineer at the time. I can't really think back. I was an explorer.
A long time ago.
I was an explorer, so I was, this is 15 years ago, and he was in charge of the explorer program or whatever. They just started back up. I only got to do it for like 8 months, and then I turned 21, and you have to be out. But he was like my first, like, oh, this is a real fireman. So it would actually, for me, I haven't seen him in 15 years, so it'd be really cool to have him.
You had Adam Diaz in your group?
I don't remember.
Okay.
He was
Adam
younger.
Diaz, he actually works for Modesto now.
Yeah.
He's a medic. So yeah, I thought he was one of Quimby's explorers, but I wasn't too sure.
It might have been after. I was like I said, I was only in there for like 8 months. I was in there in 2010 for like.
Yeah, because you were already close to 21.
And then I went to Turlock Rural right after that.
Okay.
And I started volunteering.
Yeah.
And started that journey. So no, it would be cool to have him on. So.
Yeah.
I told Jeff
this
to
is
reach out to him.
This is a whole different thing. We actually had a really good reserve program at the time when we only had 2-man crews, because a lot of those guys got hired
somewhere.
Yeah.
Oakland, some went to Oakland, some in San Francisco, just, Bay Area, just different parts of California and stuff. So a lot of them, they wanted to try to get on with Turlock. It just didn't work out. Yeah. Either
Not a big department. There was a lot of
either they wouldn't
spots.
hire anybody or they hire one and
Yeah.
you weren't that one that they're looking for, and stuff. So yeah. Very fortunate for me for that when I was number 2, right? The number 1 failed the physical. He failed his medical physical.
Life works out. I'm sure it worked out for him.
And then right after that, the strange thing about that was after I got the phone call to say, hey, are you willing to take on the position, the guy that we offered the job, it didn't work out, and I found out later why. Are you interested? And I go, yes. And so he says, okay, tomorrow we want you to come here and start filling out some medical background information, some medical stuff. Can you stop by tomorrow around a certain time? And I go, tomorrow they're inducing tomorrow.
Labor.
And I go, is there any way I could do it like the following day? Because tomorrow I've got to be the first thing in the morning. And then he says, try to find out a time period when your wife everything's okay.
So old school. That's so old school.
Yeah.
If you can leave, it won't take you long, probably maybe an hour of filling out your forms, and then you can go back. And I said, okay, I'll be there. And I go, I got to be there tomorrow. It took me 3 hours.
Oh, that's so old school. They're just like, she'll be fine.
So when
She'll be all right.
and so I go, oh my God, okay, no problem. I'll be there. So I was there for 3 hours filling out.
That's great.
Probably stressing the entire time.
Oh, I was dressed like, oh my gosh, I gotta be.
She's gonna kill me.
Oh, she had the baby.
Yeah.
And I got there, and The baby wasn't delivered yet. She started contractions.
It worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah, everything
But
works out.
But my wife always reminds me when not all the time, but we'll talk about it. I go, you remember when I was?
So old school.
Yeah.
That's
So I did. I said, no problem. I'll be there.
worked out.
So
Frank, thanks for coming on. We really
thank you.
appreciate it.
I
Telling
love
us.
that an opportunity to come down here and talk to you guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
And thanks for the invite.
Of course.
Yeah. At first I was like, oh, I don't know, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What are we gonna talk about?
Oh yeah. Well, 2 hours just went by. So.
Oh, 2 hours?
It's been
Oh
2
yeah,
hours.
it's been 2 hours.
Wow.
So.
So
By the time you're done, it'll be an hour.
No, I don't edit that much. Thanks,
No,
kid.
thank you very much.
thanks, Frank. Thanks for tuning in to the Caffeine Lifts and Public Assist podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave us a 5-star rating, share with your friends, and follow us on our socials. You can find us at CLPA Pod across the board. Have questions or feedback? Feel free to leave a comment, slide into our DMs, or email us at clpapodcast@gmail.com. We appreciate your support.